David Morin's in trouble. And hey, Pee-wee. Who's Miriam and why are you hanging with her so much? How come Miriam's with you everywhere you go, Pee-wee? So we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. MAGA rolling on in Florida last night.
Affordable Florida starts with a limited government that respects hardworking taxpayers who fund it. Under my watch, every contract, every budget, and every fee this state spends will be posted online, out in the open, where you can see it. We are going to continue the Department of Government Efficiency that was started here in Florida under Governor DeSantis. As your governor, we are going to doge all local governments and all state agencies. There will be no sacred cows.
Get used to saying Governor Donalds. Say it. Governor Donalds. He's going to be the man. And continue to say Governor Abbott because he's going to roll here in Texas. Don't buy off on what the media is trying to tell you, that the Texas race is now a toss-up. We know that the polls are overplayed on the Democrats everywhere you look, at every turn. The Dems are offering everything, and the Republicans are offering nothing new, more of the same. Iran is an intractable mess now. We don't have any oil in this country, so everything is high priced, says the media in America. Oh, that's the ABC media. That's CNN media that's telling you all of that. Don't buy off on that crapola. They're lying to you. They always have, and they always will.
Well, yeah, I was reading some of the polling that is pretty skewed, to say the least. But going back to Donald's, I'm watching him talk, and I had two impressions. First off, wow, Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, for 10 years, Donald Trump has been characterized as a white supremacist. But, boy, he didn't seem to mind a black guy possibly being the governor of Florida. Not to mention they got those election results pretty quickly last night, didn't they? Hannity was saying last night, if this were California, we'd be doing this show a month from now. So good on him, man. He seems like a really good guy.
Well, Donald Trump is a supreme racist. He does have his own white hood that he wears everywhere he goes. I'm sure you've seen it because he has to duck when he gets on and off Air Force One. He's wearing a white hood. He's the guy in 1984. He was going to run for president back then, and a guy by the name of Jesse Jackson said, no, I think I'm going to run. And so President Trump, Donald J. at the time, he stood down and said, no, I'm going to support Jesse. I'm going to give money to Jesse Jackson.
He's kind of a sucky racist, man.
Oh, he's also the one that when guys get out of prison, which about 86% black, when they get out of prison, he has elevated them to get all kinds of great things so that they can restart their lives. He started that program. So, he's a great racist, just like Joe Biden really was. Trump, by the way, is coming to Texas next week. He's going to be raising money for Ken Paxton over in the Houston area. This also happened in Florida last night. That's Angie Nixon. She's with the DSA, and she won. She beat Alexander Vendeman last night, which was really interesting to watch as well.
Well, yeah, and he had a lot more money than she did, about $16 million, right? It didn't really seem to matter. Was it the DSA, or what pushed her over the top? I mean, I'm glad Vendeman. I mean, they're both pieces of crap. I'm not really. But Vindman's the guy that was trying to get Trump on that Ukraine call. And is she a recent convert to DSA? Did I see that? Or is that something that she just is? What do you think? I mean,
what do I think about her?
That race and just what the DSA candidate beat the other guy.
I think if you put that label on yourself and the Democrats right now, you're going to win. And I go back to my number one thing I said, and that is the Dems are offering everything. They have decided that they can't win on the tranny stuff, the open border stuff, and anything else that they want to do. They can't win on closing down prisons or shutting down police. So they're just saying, we're going to give you everything.
Winning on free crap. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
They're winning on free crap. So, just giving away free crap.
Yeah, that's right. So. That's what they're doing is we're just going to give you the world, and all you got to do is vote for us. So they're the ones who are winning in the Democrat Party right now.
Well,
They won't win in the general. It will not work when they have to go up against the others in the general election. It will not work. Now, look, like I said, the Democrat media, they are pushing them really, 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 really hard. And that's why ABC is about to lose a bunch of licenses.
Apparently, yeah. Well, the question I kept coming away from with the Nixon-Vindman thing is, does money really play that much of a role anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it really your personality and how you market yourself?
Well, two things can be true, Sean.
I know, we say that a lot. Yeah,
two things could be true. But, yes, absolutely. You have to have a ton of money to get the exposure that you need to be able to be out there.
He did, though, right? He had more money than she did.
Well, he had more than she did, but she had a whole lot of help with other people.
Right.
It's kind of like, let me give you another example. I brought up John Ossoff a second ago. I wonder who Miriam is anyway. Pee-wee. So, look, he is doing so well and so far ahead in Georgia right now because they think he's the second coming of Obama, and that's how they're treating this guy. That he is now dumping a lot of his own money in Tallarico's campaign. Right. Because he realizes Tallarico cannot win in the state of Texas unless he buys this thing, and they're doing everything they can to buy it. So, yeah, money is still a big driver of politics for sure. Absolutely, 100%. You have to have it.
Right.
You can't imagine a winner in politics without the money. That's why Trump's coming to get Paxton next week, and he's going to be bringing a truckload with him too. I wanted to mention before the break. In fact, I'm going to hold that for another time. I want to toss in something else before the break here. We all know that little shuffle, don't we?
Yeah.
That's the coolest shuffle in the whole wide world. The guy who invented that shuffle that was used so many times by Chris Layton with Stevie Ray Vaughan and just about any other Texas blues player, Frankie Beard. Frankie Beard. That little shuffle, of course, was made so many of ZZ Top's top records with Frank Beard, and everybody knows by now he passed away yesterday, 77.
I was related to him by marriage at one time.
Oh,
Is that
wow.
right?
Were you?
Yeah, he was a third cousin to my ex-wife.
Is that right?
Mineral Wells area or something like that. Where he was from. I can't remember.
Texas is a big, small town.
He really was something else, and he invented a lot of the shuffle stuff that blues players throughout Texas. Of course, the band came together in '69. Dusty's been dead since '21.
Yeah.
And they came together in '69 over by Houston, a little band from Texas. And at one point, when he went on the Tonight Show, Hendrix was asked who the best guitar player in the world was because everybody thought it was Hendrix at the time, and they thought he was going to say him. And he said, nah, that's Billy Gibbons down in Texas.
Yeah.
And, of course, Billy has pressed on. They both pressed on without of course, Elwood came in. And Elwood was the guitar tech for Dusty, and he came in and he took that bass place. And they got a guy by the name of, I think it's Michael Moulton is his name. And he has been playing for Dusty. Dusty's been sick for probably a year and a half, 2 years. Frank has been sick for about a year and a half, something
We
like
don't know exactly what it was, do we? He was in hospice, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in hospice the last several months, in and out. He did go play at the beginning of August.
Wow.
And then they were going to have another show, and he couldn't do that. I don't know. I mean, we could speculate. We'll just find out when the time comes. I can tell you this: he always had an ashtray with a filterless cigarette burning next to him as he was playing.
That's a demon I'm still dealing with. It's bad stuff, man.
But he knew how to tap, and one of the most famous taps on the rim. Okay, this is an art. You have to know what you're doing. It sounds like it's not complicated, but you got to know what you're doing if you're going to tap on the rim, and he knew how to do it.
Morning Thoughts with Hugh Jackman.
AG1's got pre- and probiotics, vitamins and...
That don't sound like a drum tap.
Go ahead and turn that down.
That's a great tap.
Sing that.
No, you keep it turned down. I'll get to the taps in just a couple seconds. No, keep it turned down. I'll tell you when to turn it back up, Jimmy. I don't know why this is doing that. Anyway.
Well, I just remember, the 80s. I mean, I was in Maryland, all right? I'm about as far from Texas, the Texas music scene as you can get. But, man, for a while there, every big video was ZZ Top.
Oh,
man.
of course. Here we go. Let's do the tap thing now.
Texans to take
No, I guess we'll get to the tap a little bit later on. Turn it off, Jimmy. Okay, I love when equipment works. It's always a great thing. We'll do that a little bit later on. Let me tell you about my friends over at River City Oral Surgery.
I'm Eddie, the window guy at Precision Windows and Doors. We help folks every day make smart, lasting improvements with quality replacement windows, doors, and siding from trusted brands like James Hardy Siding and LP Smart Siding. As a local, family-owned business, my reputation is on every job. That matters to me. When you call us, you get real options and no pushy sales routine. New windows can help make your home cooler, quieter, brighter, and more energy efficient. New siding can improve your curb appeal, protect your home, and give it a clean, updated look you'll feel good about every time you pull into the driveway. Consultations are always free, and we'll help you find affordable options that make sense. Call me, Eddie, the window guy at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588. That's 210-596-6588. Let's brighten up your home together.
Achieve your dream of home ownership. Stylish new homes with popular features included at no extra cost, ranging from the low 100,000s to the 500,000s. Find your dream at Lennar.com today. Promotions and offers will vary by community. See a new home consultant for additional information and offer terms. Lennar is an equal housing opportunity builder.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas.
The
Joe Pags Show, this afternoon at 5. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
And the Jack and Jesse Show is coming up Saturday, 6 p.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. Jack Riccardi, Jesse
Salome.
Thank you. KTSA.
Salome, yes. Well, I know we're going to talk about this Fauci guy a little later on, but I spent most of my day yesterday watching. First off, I really haven't followed the Lindsay Clancy story, but I was watching some of that yesterday, and they were, talking a lot about the meds she was on. It's a list of like 12 or 13. It's like a dozen meds. The postpartum. I mean, some of those meds I've actually been on myself. Like the lorazepam, which is...
You had
postpartum?
postpartum?
No, Trey, I didn't have postpartum depression.
Just had to ask.
I get depressed a lot, Trey, but not because of that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was on lorazepam. I've been on lorazepam, which is an anti-anxiety med. A couple of the others, Zoloft, I think, and some other, brain meds. And I don't... Like I said, I haven't really followed the case. It's tragic all the way around. She strangled 3 of her kids. And the more I watch, the more you see that she was asking people, talking to her mom a lot, like, I'm not right in my head and I need some help. I can't speak about postpartum, obviously as a dude. But, one thing I can say is some of these meds that, I've been on over the years and then, got off them. I don't do any of that stuff now because you really... It's weird how you end up not being yourself in your own head. Because I've experienced the emotional blunting, which they call it, where you just don't feel any emotions at all, which I experienced, I think, with Zoloft when I was taking that about 10, 12 years ago. So again, I'm not going to pass judgment on her. That's for the jury to decide. It's just a very sad case all around. But we definitely are an over-prescribed and over-medicated nation right now. When you look at the commercials where people are on a depression med, and then they got to take 3 other meds for the side effects of the depression med, and your brain is basically water, chemistry, and electricity. And when you dump a bunch of chemicals into your brain, it really does end up altering your thought processes. So she was saying she was hearing voices that were telling her to do this, and, it's just a very sad case all around. The other story I was watching yesterday...
Well, can I say something about that?
Sure, yeah.
First of all, there was premeditation of that, so she was not in a psychotic break. She premeditated the whole thing.
I guess she set her husband out for something, So I'm not passing judgment on her. I'm just commenting on the list of meds that I saw.
It's very similar to Andrea Yates. Remember
that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they were talking about her yesterday,
and she admitted to doing it.
Right.
So there's not like a guilt innocence thing here. This is a very tragic case. I guess she had the postpartum stuff. They say that can be horrible. We just lost Pinatier this week. She talked about her struggle with postpartum depression, and she ended up losing a big sponsor, Neutrogena, because of that. And their stock, by the way, has tanked since her death. But anyway, the voice thing I can believe is absolutely real, and it's demonic. There's no doubt in my mind that that's where that comes from. And she said that it was a male's voice saying, "You have no choice. Kill your children and then kill yourself." So it is a horrible thing all the way around. And yes, one of the things that you hear me talk about a lot, Sean, and I've been doing it for years, is big pharma and how they are messing people up in a really big way. And it's not just your brain; they're messing with your entire body. And until we decide we're going to stop this, if they're going to continue to do it, they're going to continue to pump these chemicals throughout your entire body. Now, I'm not saying that all of it, throw all the baby out with the bathwater. But I am saying we've gone way too far. We've gone bat stuff crazy with these drugs and medications in America today. And now you start on one because you got to take care of that. And the next thing you know, you're on 20 different ones. So,
well, that's a relatively new development. I mean, I think really we turned the corner when the legislation was passed that allowed for them to advertise on TV and radio, frankly. And it really became a different kind of phenomenon in this country once people started hearing about meds, once they started self-diagnosing. And, yeah, definitely Big Pharma wants you on as many meds as possible. Again, this business that you need additional meds for the original med is crazy. So, I haven't followed that case. It's a very sad case all the way around, but I just had some thoughts on that. The other thing I was watching yesterday was this tranny guy that was going to assassinate Bessent on the day he was being confirmed. He was sentenced to, I think, 74 months, a little over 6 years or something like that. This is the guy that showed up, and he had a couple of Molotov cocktails in his car. He had a knife. He ended up turning himself in. And this is not a story that people hear a lot about. A trans guy was going to kill a gay guy who was being confirmed as the Secretary of the Treasury. And a lot of people were reacting to Jeanine Pirro and just the whole thing yesterday because, you're going to assassinate somebody who is about to be confirmed as a member of the cabinet, and he only gets 6 years. I guess the judge took into account the time served and that he turned himself in. But just a very strange little case, isn't it?
He'll be out in no time at all. He was also after Mike Johnson and Pete Hegseth.
Right.
He was out after all three, but he had made the most threats against Bessent. Obviously, that guy was just hell-bent for leather, and he's going to walk very soon. He's going to be in for a very short amount of time and right back out.
So weird case.
And ready to do it again.
Yeah.
All right, more Ware and Rima coming up. Our friends over at Texas Rhino Shield are ready to put
cash for back to school. Register now to win at KTSA.com. Good luck from News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Righto. Well, here in Texas, HEAR, here in TX.com is ready to put you in a pair of hearing aids that will improve the quality of your life. And, of course, they're a big sponsor of what's going on at McKenna Center in New Braunfels. Thank you days in New Braunfels from 10 to 2. And they are always here for you. They evaluate your hearing with a very thorough process to find out exactly what's going on with every part of your hearing, and then they find out what's going to work best for you, because what works best for Sean doesn't work best for me, and for you, everybody's different. They know that here in Texas. So many of these big box stores you can go in, you can get your hearing aids, and you know what? You got the same thing Charlie got 5 minutes ago. It's not going to do you any good. Here in Texas, they're completely dedicated to your satisfaction. That's why they have a subscription service. When the technology changes and comes out, you get the new hearing aids. Check them out. I love these people. They are wonderful. Go see their beautiful dogs, Hero and Audio, at here, HEAR, here in TX.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Texas Gun Shows brings you the largest gun shows, and this weekend they're in Buda, Texas at the CTX Fieldhouse. Open this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 and 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the CTX Fieldhouse this Saturday and Sunday, 2610 Main Street.
Bjorn's has evolved. Our team's been bringing cutting-edge tech home for 50 years. Come visit the Bjorn's showroom on 281. We'll show you how the future of technology can fit perfectly into your world. Because if it's technology, it's at Bjorn's. Just Bjorn's.
Imagine a clinic where you can see your primary care provider who will actually help you reduce your medications and improve your overall health. A clinic where you are rewarded for getting rid of medications. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. A place where you have a whole team of professionals that work together to balance your hormones, reduce your digestive issues, decrease inflammation, improve energy, sleep better, and get out of pain naturally. At the Institute for Functional Health, you receive state-of-the-art testing, education, and care. You are never alone, and you will have a team that is relentless in the pursuit to make you the best version of yourself. Now is the time to take care of your health. Call us at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. You don't have to worry, we can see you now. Call 468-1891, I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. 468-1891.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A former senior advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci is facing years in prison after he pled guilty to destroying records on COVID-19. Got a few more public school districts headed back to class this morning, and the world of rock and roll has lost a legendary drummer from East Texas. We'll find out what's happening at 7 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 6:32.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, got a trouble spot, 1604. This report sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. 1604 westbound Boulevardy Road. This wreck in the left lane, now a 17-minute delay. Stop and go from Judson Road. Road work at 35 northbound 410 to O'Connor. That's causing a 15-minute delay. Slow from Walsham. And sluggish 35 southbound Randolph on down to Loop 410 due to road work. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Triple-digit heat continues straight through the weekend. Sunny to partly cloudy today with the high of 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy. 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Very hot again Thursday. Clouds and limited sun, the high up to 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Mostly clear right now, 77 degrees at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 1071.
Here's that tapping I was talking about.
Yeah.
Frank Beard.
Rumors spreading around.
And that little old band.
Texas time.
From Texas, East Texas.
About to shack outside the game.
From Tres Hombres.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
And a 10 to get yourself in. That's all it takes, right, Billy F? Have mercy song.
Have mercy.
634, Ware and Rima. KTSA. Yeah.
Well, here it's fine. If you got the time.
That's that shuffle I was talking about.
Yeah, that's it.
That Frank came up with, and it was so iconic. To the KTSA Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline, where John Hayward from Breitbart.com is joining us on a big night in your home state last night. MAGA rolled on pretty well, John. It looked like over 21 of Trump-chosen contestants won last night.
Yeah, the big loss being Corey Mills, who had all sorts of problems going into the race, and the Trump endorsement couldn't save him, but otherwise did pretty well.
And Byron Donalds, he is going to be probably your next governor. Let's see what he says.
Florida starts with a limited government that respects hardworking taxpayers who fund it. Under my watch, every contract, every budget, and every fee this state spends will be posted online, out in the open, where you can see it.
Everybody love him down there or what?
Well, I think he's pretty popular, and, he's coming off a big success. Everybody's going to be sad to see DeSantis go. He was a tremendously effective and popular governor. So everybody's hoping that the continuity will be there, that we'll get the same kind of governance, and it'll do well. So optimism. It's not a state where people, so many states people feel like everything's falling apart and nothing could get any worse, so we'll take a chance on this new governor. That's not what it's like here. Here, we just want everything to keep going the way it's been going.
DeSantis has been doing a phenomenal job over there. I want him to be vote czar, and I've said this for years for the United States. You guys can get her done in one day. You have the results in less than an hour. It was pretty much how it went last night, and it happens every single time you guys have an election over there.
Yep, we had solid results within 1 hour, and every last vote counted within 3 hours. So don't tell me California can't do it.
What did you? We were talking a little bit ago about Nixon and Vindman, and the DSA candidate obviously won out there and was outspent by Alexander Vindman. And we were just having a discussion about the importance of money as a factor in these campaigns. Is it still the factor that it used to be, or is it presentation overruling that, or winning the day? What do you think about that?
It's still pretty important. I'd still rather have $9 million than $700,000,
Right.
like was the case, I think, in that particular race. But it's not decisive. There can be other factors where all the money in the world is not going to get your candidate over the hump. And in Vindman's case, I think a lot of people in that district saw him a carpetbagger. He wasn't from there. He just
Right.
parachuted into the district to run. It was pretty blatantly obvious. And the DSA candidates, they've got a lot of energy from young voters and
Shit.
extreme left-wingers and people that are really fired up and think they're living in the Fourth Reich and all that. So those people all
That's
ran
it.
to the polls to put her over the top, and she's going to get obliterated in the general election.
She's going to get knocked out like crazy, but that's exactly what it is. What I told Sean last half hour is all this DSA stuff has just got a lot of momentum right now. And she even admitted yesterday, I'm a recent signee up to DSA.
Yeah.
I'm just brand spanking new to this. I don't buy off on what they're trying to sell, but I knew I had to have the label. And that's all she got to have. Oh, and by the way, here she is in y'all's state ledge. Yeah, Floridians ain't going to vote for that, John. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah, screaming lunatics don't go over well down here, especially, as I said, it's a state where everything's working well. People are generally very happy. Still a fast-growing state, a lot of people pouring into it. They're not really big on screaming lunatics that want to pose as Marxist revolutionaries, so I don't think that's fly.
Any idea what DeSantis is going to do next?
No, I'm really curious about that too. I was talking to some other people about that the other day. I don't think anybody really knows. He's so young. He's only 47 years old. After everything he's done, that's college graduate in politics terms. You know, he just got out of college, so to speak. So he's got decades ahead to decide what he wants to do. I don't know if he'll stay in politics. Maybe he'll go into law, back into law. He's a lawyer. You know, maybe he'll get into a private practice, or maybe he could even take another run at the presidency. It would be interesting to see what happened to him in a different environment. If he runs for president, did he learn things from last time? Will he correct some of the mistakes he made the previous time around? If he runs again, he won't have Trump actively hating him the way that he did during that vicious fight that they had during his previous attempt. So he could plausibly try it again someday, or maybe he'll go a different route. But he's got the world open to him after what he did in Florida.
Could he primary Scott?
He could. I don't know if he's going to do something like that, though. I think if he's going to stay in politics, he's going to want to build up every wing of the party, including, you know, the establishment guys and the MAGA guys. He's going to want to be the candidate everybody consolidates around. And if that's his strategy, I would not do anything that picks a huge internal food fight if I were him. I would be a consensus builder.
Yeah.
What did you think about the two Dan Sullivans in Alaska? I mean,
so confusing.
cheap ploy to trick voters, or what?
It's weird. It's just weird. It's one of those things that happens sometimes. I think the Alaskans are pretty good-humored about it. It seems like they're rolling with it, and they can tell the two of them apart pretty well. I don't think it's a deliberate effort to screw the vote or anything.
One other thing.
It is strange.
One other thing on the elections, then I want to get into a different story.
We began our election security work almost as soon as I was sworn in last April. This is an ongoing duty and obligation, and by the way, it is no different than in Democrat administrations. In and out since the 1957, the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has sent monitors to election hotspots, polling places, to increase voter confidence, to troubleshoot problems, and we are doing that now. We just did it in the primary. We're going to do it to the tune of approximately 1,000 election monitors in the November election. And
that's Harmeet Dillon, and she's sending out 1,000 monitors to go across the country. At least she's not sending the Black Panthers to stand outside with sticks and stones like they did a few years ago. But no, this is what we need. We need this kind of enforcement at the elections.
Well, until we have reasonable first world elections, and we're nowhere near that nationwide right now, I think 1,000 monitors is a little light. I'd go with 10,000 if I was her. They need to have eyes everywhere during this. You know how many hijinks there's going to be. We've already seen hijinks in the primaries. We've already seen all these dodgy results and last-minute 21-point poll swings and all that nonsense that's been happening. So, I mean, we need to watch elections like a hawk until we get the common-sense election reforms that Americans are demanding, and we have elections we can be proud of, where nobody feels like there's a chance it was stolen, or a box of mystery votes appeared at 3 a.m. and flipped the race on its head, or any of that. Should never happen again. None of that should ever happen again.
Dr. David Morins pleaded guilty yesterday to destroying and hiding documents related to COVID-19. They did not want the truth to come out. They were trying to keep it from coming out in the Freedom of Information Act. And he destroyed them. This is him saying this. He destroyed them, and he hid them, so they would not come out. What was interesting is he said he had 2 co-conspirators, and he was talking with them through a private server over email, which, I went right back to Hillarygate on the private server and James Comey covering for her. My question is, was one of them Peter Daszak and the other Anthony Fauci? Is this the guy? Is this the one they needed to flip in order to get deeper into the truth about what we were being told during COVID? We all know it was a damn lie from the pit of hell, and it smelled like smoke, everything they were saying. But now we're starting to get some prosecution on this. What do you think?
I think it's great that we're getting prosecution. I remain to be convinced that anybody's actually going to pay a penalty for any of the things they did of any severe nature. But it's really good that it's being looked into. I think I'd bet real money that Peter Daszak was one of his co-conspirators, and Anthony Fauci's the logical choice for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be nice to see all of that come together, get some accountability. That's what we need. There's so much loss of trust in everything, from elections to all of our higher institutions. And the pandemic and all of the nonsense that happened in there is a big part of the reason why nobody trusts anything anymore. And you can't rebuild that trust by just scolding people and saying you really need to trust the government. The Democrats are going to take over at some point and say, okay, now you need to trust the government implicitly because we run it. And that's not going to fly. There are too many reasons for us not to trust any part of our government or academia or media. We know all of them are fixed and rigged and all of it's wrong. And we got to start putting it together. And I think getting some justice for COVID and the things that were done during the pandemic would be a great way to start.
Yeah, you really need to get as close to the truth publicly as you possibly can, and people do need to go to jail. I'd asked this question a couple of weeks ago after the Fauci appearance and the non-testimony, that what happens the next time a pandemic comes around? Let's say something comes around, it's not contrived in a Chinese laboratory, it's a naturally occurring pandemic where you got to get lots of people to do lots of stuff to contain it. Since that trust is gone, with a lot of folks, are you going to be able to get people to listen to any kind of medical advice should this happen again?
Depending on when it happens, I hope it never does, but if it happens very soon now, I think you'd have a lot of trouble with that. I think we're years away from people being willing to trust the experts again and come together and do something dramatic. I don't think people are ever going to go for lockdowns again. People will resist that violently if necessary. We know it was stupid last time. We paid a price for it. We're never going to fall for that again. But I think there are other places where if it's done right and if it's done with respect for the public, you'll be able to get them on board. But you're going to have to begin with the assumption that they don't trust power, and you're going to have to convince them to trust you this time. And I think any kind of an arrogant attitude like we saw last time being taken by the elites would be incredibly toxic the next time we have any kind of a health crisis.
I think you're going to see, if that ever happens again, Sean, you're going to see a bigger split between red states and blue states. You will see blue states like Illinois and New York and places like that. They'll jump on board with all that again, and I heard California. They're still masking up in those places.
Oh, yeah.
But places like Texas and Florida and places like that, you can forget about it. John Hayward, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. As always, it's been fun.
Sounds great.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week. John Hayward from Breitbart.com. Well, I visited with Brock Wilkerson yesterday. Wilkerson's Guns in
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. New trouble on 35 southbound 410. Accident, southwest side of town. It is off to the shoulder. A stall at Loop 410 eastbound approaching Blanco Road right around Military Highway, Northwest Military Highway. This one's off of main lane and off to the right shoulder. And a stall at Loop 410 eastbound San Pedro, right shoulder blocked. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home. Install yourself. Save big. No retail store markups. Just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
We have a lot to scroll about. Follow 550 KTSA and FM 1071 on Facebook and stay connected with Trey, Sean, Jack, and Bags.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
Think of your portfolio like a recipe. Every ingredient has a purpose, and too much of one thing can throw everything off. It's not much different when it comes to investments. A lot of investors aren't really building portfolios. They're just collecting investments over time. Different stocks, different funds, but no clear structure, no clear role for each piece. The result? A portfolio that may not perform the way you expect when conditions change. I'm Carl Eggers, and I work with clients to build portfolios that are intentional, balanced, and aligned with their goals. If yours feels scattered, it may be time to simplify. Visit creatingricherlives.com. That's creatingricherlives.com, or give me a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057. You hear me every Monday morning on the Trey Ware Show, and I look forward to talking to you.
Investment advisory services offered by Camp Financial Partners, LLC, an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit SouthwestExteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
Don't miss the sizzling summer sale going on now at Crestview RV. Brand new travel trailers for just $250 a month with approved credit on select models and terms. Visit any Crestview RV location for all the hot details. Find a way to get away. CrestviewRV.com. Offers end August 30th. Restrictions apply.
When you go to a doctor, you don't want any games, you don't want to run around, you don't want any gimmicks. Okay, that's why I recommend my friends over at River City Oral Surgery. Dr. Mark Havercorn and his team over there are no games. They don't play around over there. They want you to have the best in oral surgery and oral care. And that's what they do at River City Oral Surgery every day. Let me give you an example. Right now, if you're thinking about getting wisdom teeth taken out, $1,500 is all you're going to pay. And that's everything. That's the exam, that's the x-ray, IV sedation, routine post-op care. It's right there for you. You're not going to meet with somebody in scrubs who's actually a salesperson who's going to try to sell you something you don't need. Too many other doctors will do that, not River City Oral Surgery. So whether it's implants that go in, wisdom teeth that need to come out, you've got broken or missing teeth, whatever it is, talk to our friends at River City Oral Surgery. All you do is go online at rivercityoms.com. The prices and procedures are right there, so you know exactly what you're going to pay before you ever go into place. Okay? Check them out today. rivercityoms.com.
The hardest part was figuring out where to go. Safeguard Veterans connected me to people and resources that understood military life.
Veteran-focused support, local connections. Visit safeguardveterans.net and click on your city. Safeguard Veterans. Any door, the right support.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
6:51. Ware and Rima, KTSA.
We ran out of time, and I was going to ask John, a very important question.
Call him back if you want.
No, well, maybe we'll try to get him back on because we didn't. We get no. I mean, the Video Music Awards are Sunday, Trey, and we didn't ask John his thoughts. Madonna's up for 11 awards. She's beat out Taylor Swift for the amount of Video Music Awards she may be receiving. Holy crap! Who cares? I mean, I can't believe I can't believe it's still on the air. I'm already giving it more attention than it deserves. I readily accept that going into this break. Okay, brother, I get it.
No.
But
no, that's fine.
Every year it rolls around, and I'm like, it's still on. This still happens. Who watches videos anymore on MTV or?
Well, they don't play them on MTV.
They don't play them anymore.
So is she gonna? Is Madonna gonna kiss Taylor Swift? Is that the story?
Are they gonna tongue kiss? That would be great.
She did with Britney.
She did.
And Christina Aguilera at the same time.
And I wonder who got infected. I'm just, MTV was cool for about 6 years.
It was
really
great
didn't when it first came out.
Man.
And the original business model was radio for TV.
Yeah.
That's really how they did it. Radio for TV. The VJs are all radio people.
Yeah.
The videos themselves are very creative and very artistically well done. Peter Gabriel was one of the earlier guys. Some of his videos were great. NXS did some great videos.
But you know what happened was Michael Jackson came along with John Lucas, and they had unlimited budgets.
Oh, yeah.
So they were able to produce these epic things like Thriller and Bad and Beat It and all this other stuff that they produced. The others couldn't keep up. The others had $100, $200, because what happens in the music business is the artist signs the deal with the record company,
right?
But the artist has to pay for all that.
Sure.
All of that comes. The record company doesn't pay for those videos. The artist does.
Right.
So they didn't have the type of the Michael Jackson money. They didn't have it. So they ended up standing in a room in a studio just singing, and it didn't. People weren't
the
turned
videos
on
got
by
really
it.
dull. You're right. The videos got very performative. It was just basically concert footage at some
they
point.
had that too. They had
I think the last glory days of that whole thing was frankly Kennedy on VH1. And she seems to be the only one that's really kind of survived out of that entire culture. And she's still doing great.
The VJs, remember, the first song was Video Kill the Radio Star.
Right,
which was August 1st, by the way. That's when
that's right.
Started
it's coming
on August 1st. And so
or it's passed,
just passed, but it was
I'm
August
a
1st.
month behind.
That's okay. That's all right. So, Video Kill the Radio Star, which was real funny because all of those guys, meaning Mark and Alan and those guys and even Nina.
Martha,
well, Nina, they're on radio.
They're back on radio. That's right. Well, and Kennedy was on radio for a little while out in L.A.
Right, but my point is the irony. MTV's gone.
Right.
Music videos are gone for the most part, except for country music videos. Music videos are gone, and those guys who are supposed to kill the radio star are back on radio.
They're back on radio. So
figure that one out.
Nobody cares about the Video Music Awards anymore.
Is that's the one with the popcorn? That's the one with the popcorn.
I
right?
think it's been decades since
That's not
I watched
the popcorn one? Which one
it is? The
That's
popcorn
the movie
one.
awards.
Oh, that's the movie awards, right.
Which
this is the little space guy who looks like the
man.
logo, the old logo from MTV. And Madonna is up for a lot. Madonna's one of those people that just gives me the creeps. And I was a fan. I thought she, in her time, Madonna was phenomenal. I mean, especially the stuff she did in the early 90s was really good stuff. And edgy, but at some point she's one of those old chicks that just, it doesn't really embrace her age. I like people who embrace their age, you know what I mean, if they're performers or whatever and they get older, and she just never was on that trip. She did a lot of weird anti-Trump stuff too, wanted to blow up the White House,
She also was dating like a 26-year-old when she was 66 or something like that.
Still is.
Yeah, but if
she's
she
still
was
with that dude.
If she was a 66-year-old working at the Dollar Tree, I don't think she'd be, walking around with a 23-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah, but he'd be on meth.
But here's and I'm not a fan. I never was a fan of hers, but she really did a big thing for that whole genre.
Oh, sure.
It was she carried a lot of that on her back.
Oh,
for a lot
I'm
of
just
years.
saying that.
And I'm not a fan. I never was a fan.
I wasn't a big fan of the 80s stuff, but I mean, that records, when I started in radio in 89 and then 1990, 1991, and like A Prayer and a lot of those songs are coming out, like I really thought that was good stuff. But, again, she's going to win a bunch of awards possibly at the VMAs, and every year I am just surprised that it's still going on. It's still happening.
It's still there.
We're still talking about it. Beyond that, I know that I got to mention this because Jack was talking about this yesterday, and I don't think we've really delved into it. When Trump was talking to the young first responder the other day, the kid who saved the 10-year-old, and the Natalie Harp thing came up, it kind of zipped on by me, and I was like, wait, what? And started reading about Ossoff and, this claim, the stuff about his executive advisor. We got to go?
Yeah, go ahead. We do got to go.
We'll get back into it next hour. Like, I want to revisit that because it's like they're really trying to, like, hook him up with Natalie Harp. That's all they got right now.
Well, I got a question about that, too, so we'll get into that coming up.
All right.
And a lot of other great stuff. Ware and Rima, KTSA.
Hi there, it's Mike Hermes, co-host of the What's It Worth show.
And I'm Holly Hermes, and together, we're the father-daughter real estate team with over 50 years of real estate experience.
Whether you're buying or selling or just curious about the market, we've got you covered with years of experience.
So don't miss out. Tune in every Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on News Talk KTSA.
Sponsored by Security Service Mortgage Company,
Security Service Title Company,
Security Service Insurance Company,
and Stevens Roofing.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know what's not fun? Sitting in your living room, feeling the Texas heat sneak through those old windows, then looking outside and realizing your siding is aging faster than you are. I'm Eddie, the window guy at Precision Windows and Doors. We help folks every day make smart, lasting improvements with quality replacement windows, doors, and siding from trusted brands like James Hardy Siding and LP Smart Siding. As a local, family-owned business, my reputation is on every job. That matters to me. When you call us, you get real options and no pushy sales routine. New windows can help make your home cooler, quieter, brighter, and more energy efficient. New siding can improve your curb appeal, protect your home, and give it a clean, updated look you'll feel good about every time you pull into the driveway. Consultations are always free, and we'll help you find affordable options that make sense. Call me, Eddie, the window guy at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588. That's 210-596-6588. Let's brighten up your home together.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 7 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. It's looking like a prison sentence of up to 5 years for a former associate of Dr. Anthony Fauci. Former senior advisor Dr. David Morenz has pled guilty to defrauding the federal government. He was accused of destroying records and data related to the origins of COVID-19. This comes after Dr. Fauci was given a blanket pardon by former President Joe Biden in the closing hours of his time in the White House. Despite that pardon, Fauci would not answer a single question during a Senate hearing on COVID-19 in late July. We've got the latest on this developing story on the front page at KTSA.com. Some polls are showing Democrats gaining ground in red states like Texas and Florida, but are they really? One polling firm that grossly projected Democrat leads in recent elections only to get it wrong has now been shut down.
Median Strategies released polls showing Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and former Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong ahead with wide margins in their respective races. A message on the company's website says previously published polling releases have been withdrawn and should not be cited. It also says Median Strategies was intended to be a short-term social experiment, examining how purported polling information could enter and spread through the political information ecosystem without independent verification. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Students in Alamo Heights ISD heading back to school this morning. They're joined by Seguin ISD and the Hill Country's Kerrville ISD and Hunt ISD. as among the last school districts to start the school year. There's more on that as well at KTSA.com. ZZ Top drummer Frank Beard is dead at the age of 77. A spokesman for the band has confirmed the news. Beard died at his home in Texas while in hospice care on Monday, but an exact cause of death was not given. The band has canceled a show Tuesday in Salt Lake City and another on Wednesday in Colorado Springs due to the news. Beard had been dealing with health issues for years and had stepped away from the band last year on a temporary basis. Beard had been ZZ Top's drummer since 1969. Sounds like America's team is already set for the regular season. Let's get caught up with KTSA Sports, sponsored by Connecticut Quality Water Systems.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboy joint practice with the New Orleans Saints got a little heated. Last count, there were nearly 7 or 8 dust-ups, including Donovan Ezeraku getting thrown out of practice. They did the day off today to cool off. They'll get busy again tomorrow with the Saints in Oxnard to finish up the joint practice session. In college football news, Texas Longhorns left tackle Trevor Gooseby had an MRI on his left knee and has been diagnosed with a bone bruise. He was named AP preseason All-American first team at tackle. As a matter of fact, several Longhorns made it. Cam Coleman at wide receiver, Colin Simmons and Rasheem Biles at linebacker were also first team AP preseason All-Americans. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA News Time 7:02.
What if one smart decision could improve your water and eliminate 5 years of shopping for everyday soaps and cleaners? This month only, buy a Connecticut water softener and receive a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system at your kitchen sink. Plus, 5 full years of pure and gentle personal care and household cleaning products. That means no buying hand soap, body wash, shampoo, laundry detergent, dish soap, all-purpose cleaners, and more for 5 full years. You can choose from a wide variety of fragrances or select fragrance-free options for your family. Connecticut gives your home better water, helps protect your plumbing and appliances, and is built to be the last water softener you will ever own. But this offer ends August 31st. Once August is over, the 5-year pure and gentle package is over too. So make the wise decision. Call Connecticut today and get better water, a free K5 station, and 5 years of essentials. A one-time, limited-time Connecticut offer at 210-656-PURE.
MedicoSA.com.
Trey Ware here. Texas Rhino Shield, it's a difference maker. 9 times thicker than paint. This ceramic coating protects your home against the sun's UV rays like nothing else can. Log on today and find out how you can save $2,500 on your project. TexasRhinoShield.com.
Hey, it's Trey for Here in Texas, HEAR, HearandTX.com. Get together with them and let them evaluate your hearing and prescribe hearing aids for you to improve the quality of your life as they did for me. But don't wait. Now is the time. Here, HEAR, HearandTX.com.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time 7:04. Rush hour is happening. Let's see what's up with KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot. 1604 westbound at 281. It's a stall, right lane blocked. Southwest side of town, 35 southbound at Loop 410. That wreck is off to the shoulder, so main lanes are getting by. A stall at 410 eastbound approaching Blanco Road and 410 eastbound San Pedro. Both of those stalls off to the right shoulder. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about this morning, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out, 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Sizzling temperatures with sunny to partly cloudy skies today. The high hits 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy and warm. The low 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Blazing heat again for Thursday. Clouds and limited sun, the high of 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 75 degrees, mostly clear at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Okay, I'm going to get into some other stuff here just to make it's kind of some random news stories, but we ended up at the top of the hour. You wanted to talk about Ossoff.
He doesn't want to do the job.
He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Okay, so what do you want to say now about that?
Oh, just, is that they're trying to link him to her? Is what, some kind of an affair thing, or what? Is that the deal?
Mhm.
I heard Jack talking about it. It was a really interesting point he made where he said, on the one hand, they've always tried to characterize Donald Trump as, unattractive and gross and repulsive to women, but now simultaneously they're trying to say an 80-year-old guy is hooking up with a chick in her 30s. And my whole take is, because, again, that kind of zipped by me the other day when he was doing the appearance. I'm like, wait, what? And if that's – because I heard ABC talking about it and, in a sense, giving the story credence – or the allegation of it, is this something they're going to try to roll with, that he's hooking up with Natalie Harp? Because if that's all they got, man, that's pretty stupid.
Well, I couldn't tell you what they're going to roll with. I can tell you it's senseless. It's typical Democrat BS, for pulling this out. ABC's not doing the story of David Morin's this morning, which is the top story of the day, is this Fauci associate that pled guilty to hiding the very important documentation around COVID so that they could continue to lie to the American people. And, oh, by the way, you Democrats that kiss Anthony Fauci's ass every time he walks into the room, he was lying to you too. Now, I know you Democrats really don't care because you're amoral, or you're even immoral. You don't care, but he was lying to the rest of us, and a lot of us took shots, and a lot of us lost loved ones who took those shots, and a lot of us have heart conditions who took those damn shots because you hid the truth. And every one of them should be fried inside of a jail. Go to prison, every one of you.
Tell us who Moran's is.
He was the right-hand man to Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci had in his orbit, he had these guys that were like his advisors, right?
He's a senior advisor.
Yes, he was. He was as close as you're going to get. And so he was the one that Fauci relied on to destroy this information. Destroyed it, like Hillary beat her phones to death so you wouldn't find out what was in her stinking phones. And Anthony Fauci's suffering from that. He should have beat his phones to death. But this is the biggest story, and ABC ain't talking about that. But they're harping on President Trump's got Natalie Harp on an airplane with him. Let me tell you something. I watched her brother a little bit yesterday, too. And CNN's trying to make a big story out of this. And did you see him? The brother?
I didn't see the brother, no.
And he says he saved her life. He saved her. Jack brought this up, too. Look, President Trump, when in the first administration, he signed this thing as right to try, which meant if you found if you were sick and you found a medication you wanted to give a shot to, it's your body. Try it. See if it works or not. She did. And she's not dead from cancer today. She's alive today because Trump gave her the right to try. And that girl said, whatever this man needs, I'm going to give it to him. She's not sleeping with him. He's not sleeping with her. John Ossoff is Pee Wee Herman. I mean, look at him. and somebody needs to stop him and ask him, why are you spending so much time with Miriam?
Miriam? Who's Miriam?
That's all I'm going to say.
I got a question.
That's all I'm going to say. Well, somebody ask Pee Wee Ossoff. Why are you spending so much time with Miriam?
Wow. Well, I mean, again, given the background that Trump has with Natalie Harp and what you were just talking about, it's really kind of gross that you're going to try to characterize that as something other. But then again, that's all they got. I mean, they're cheap. They go after the cheapest shots. And you're right, though. It is being reported. Whereas the Moran story, you're not hearing any. I drove in listening to ABC. I didn't hear one story on it.
What's everybody talking about? They're talking about Ossoff. All these people talking about Ossoff and Natalie and President Trump on the airplane with Natalie and all that. Look, she's a beautiful blonde, and he loves beautiful blonde. Yeah, he loves beautiful people. He loves people that are smart. He loves people that do their job. He loves people who dress nice. Natalie Harp fits all of those things. But he's not sleeping with her. But Ossoff, who's Miriam? Why are you with her so much?
Well, it is interesting that if you're listening to just the standard media, you wouldn't be hearing anything about the Fauci guy at all. But you're hearing a lot about Natalie Harp.
Yeah. Yes.
You want to see, can I share with you?
You can share anything you want to, Christian. Go right ahead. Share away.
Top story on one of the latest feeds. It's not Fauci. It's candidates endorsed by President Trump are taking a few hits.
And do you know the reality of this?
Top story.
The reality is over 21 of his endorsed candidates killed them in Florida last night. That's the truth.
If you're getting your information, though, from the standard sources, that's what you're hearing, that, MAGA's dead in the water, man. It's over.
And that's what I keep telling you. When you get out, we're in the truth bubble. You get out of the truth bubble, and that's what's going into the heads of people right now. And it has been going into the heads of them, and that's why they're going after ABC, and ABC is now suing the FCC.
Yeah.
Bring it on, baby.
Yep.
Bring on that lawsuit.
To your original point, and you're right as far as, all of the bull crap surrounding COVID, Democrats were lied to as equally as Republicans. Okay?
Well, sure.
Everybody was lied to about a pan-freaking-demic. And, you should be as pissed off as everybody else that you were lied to about this.
Democrats had loved ones die. There were plenty of Democrats who died in New York because they put them in old folks' homes with this stuff to kill them. That's what happened. It was out and out killing of them.
And you got this piece of crap Morenz who was like, I know how to talk to Anthony. Remember the email chain where, I hand him a physical note or I do it on a different email. Yeah. This guy was almost bragging about it.
He was bragging about it, and that's why he's going to go away for a few years, however long that is. But Anthony Fauci, we need to find a way to get to him and bring – I'm sorry. I'm going to be quiet a minute. There's that shuffle again from Frank Beard and ZZ Top. I feel like this. I mean, I'm a big guitar guy. Love really great guitar playing.
Right.
And Billy Gibbons is one of the best that ever walked planet Earth.
That's a fact.
Oh, no doubt about that. But the drummer's everything. The drummer sets the tone for everything that happens.
It's the
in
foundation.
A song. He is it, or she is it. And my idol of all time, Elvis Presley, he used to say that, and he never wandered off from the drums. Now, he'd move around the stage, he'd work the stage, but he would always come back in front of Ronnie Tutt because everything that he did, Ronnie followed him and vice versa, and they were the same way. Billy Gibbons was right there next to Frank Beard since 1969, and everything that Billy wanted to do on the guitar, Frank made happen on them drums.
I was going to ask just at some point during the show, just as a general question to go around with, and this is no disrespect to Frank Beard, but who would you say was the greatest rock and roll drummer of all time?
Neil Peart or John Bonham, either one of those guys. Bonham for how hard and how fast he played. Peart for his perfect tech work that he did. You listen to Tom Sawyer and that solo in Tom Sawyer. There's nothing like that. And he would lead. What was great about Neil Peart was he was the lead, not the guitar.
Yes, he was.
He was the lead on many of their songs. The reason Frank deserves a lot of accolades today, obviously since he passed away yesterday, but that whole shuffle blues kind of shuffle thing, it had been around for a little while. Yeah. He took it to an all-new level and perfected it, where a lot of the other guys that came along, I mentioned Stevie because I love Stevie. Chris Layton played for Stevie. They picked up on what Frank was doing with that blues shuffle, and man, it was just, and it started with Frank. He was the guy who began it all.
I was going to mention Keith Moon, who
was good too.
Who for a while. Keith Moon it's like he had 8 arms. I mean, he was like an octopus. I mean, how that guy was able to pull off what he did, technically, was amazing.
There were some chemical assistants there.
What's that? What?
Oh, he did a lot of drugs.
Certainly did have a lot of. He was amped up on drugs.
So the debate is between Keith Moon and Bonham for the English drummers. American drummers, I'm going to go Stuart Copeland.
That was mine. Yeah, that's good. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, American drummer Stuart Copeland's probably one of our finest American.
When you talk about Moon and eight hands, and the same thing is true with Bonham, he played so hard and fast that there was nothing like that. Nobody was doing that like John was.
I liked his style. I liked just the sound of his drumming on those songs.
Wait,
it was just
Keith?
Bonham. John,
Bonham.
It was just so distinctive.
Yeah.
You know, you knew you were listening to a Led Zeppelin song when you heard that guy.
And Frank also knew his place.
Right.
He also knew that Billy was. I mean, they spread the love around in that band, but Billy was the lead. Okay,
Right.
and still is. You
Sure.
know, that's that deal. And Billy never would take that spotlight. He always made sure he threw plenty of shine on Dusty and plenty of shine on Frank.
Yep.
But Frank knew his place, and he was there to support what Billy was
Right.
doing up front. But by doing that, he shone through in a lot of that stuff.
Sure.
I'm just highlighting some of the songs
of course.
that you've heard him in. But on stage, he was magic, is what he was. And then you get into some of their later stuff, and it was just awesome. The top member that didn't have a beard, and
That's
his
right.
name was Frank Beard.
That's right. I thought that was funny, man.
It's cool.
Good morning. Just cleared one of our trouble spots. That wreck on 1604 westbound Bulverde Road, now clear. This stall at 410 eastbound approaching Blanco Road and 410 eastbound San Pedro. Both of those are off to the right shoulder, so those should be clearing soon. Now, we do have an accident at Castroville at Acme. This one just came in west side of town. And 35 northbound, 410 up to O'Connor. That's road work through the Windcrest area. About a 7-8 minute travel time. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Some stations play music. We start conversations.
See, I think giving up going keto in San Antonio is markedly more difficult than other places.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Texacare is healthcare coverage built by Texans for Texans. Trust is in our DNA. Texacare is the health affiliate of Texas Mutual, who has been the leading workers' compensation insurance provider for Texas businesses for 30 years. Texacare's goal is to provide a new healthcare option that is built with Texas businesses in mind and that is designed to be used keeping employees healthier and more productive at work and for their families. Texacare plans are designed with the goal of making it easier for people and their families to stay healthy with benefits like no copay, unlimited virtual care visits with licensed doctors 24/7, no appointment, no waiting in an office, just quick access to a doctor who can diagnose common ailments and prescribe treatment by phone, video call, or text. Texacare plans also cater to individuals with chronic conditions. 4 no copay visits a year to your primary care physician can help manage conditions like diabetes or hypertension. Take care, Texas. To learn more, go to Texacare.com. That's Texacare.com.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit SouthwestExteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
Think of your portfolio like a recipe. Every ingredient has a purpose, and too much of one thing can throw everything off. It's not much different when it comes to investments. A lot of investors aren't really building portfolios. They're just collecting investments over time. Different stocks, different funds, but no clear structure, no clear role for each piece. The result? A portfolio that may not perform the way you expect when conditions change. I'm Carl Eggers, and I work with clients to build portfolios that are intentional, balanced, and aligned with their goals. If yours feels scattered, it may be time to simplify. Visit creatingricherlives.com. That's creatingricherlives.com, or give me a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057. You hear me every Monday morning on the Trey Ware Show, and I look forward to talking to you.
Investment advisory services offered by Cap Financial Partners, LLC, an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940.
Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
The Jack and Jesse Show. Jack McCarty, Jesse Salome, coming up Saturday, 6 p.m., Sunday, 3 p.m. Check it out, 722 at KTSA.
As far as the Meta case, we have 29 states that are suing Meta and Facebook and Instagram and all these platforms under the Meta heading for a whole bunch of bad stuff. And you and I have spent a lot of time talking about this over the past few years as far as the addictive qualities of social media. And at the heart of a lot of these cases is that they knew that this was bad stuff for kids, and they rolled it forward anyway. They went forward with a lot of these platforms knowing that it was bad, especially for kids and pre-adolescents, that it was highly addictive and very highly damaging to their developing personalities and their mental health and all this stuff. And it didn't matter. They went forward with it anyway, didn't tell anybody. You had internal discussions, allegedly, where, you have people working for Zuckerberg saying, hey, this is bad, and didn't matter. I don't know what the outcome's going to be other than Zuckerberg paying a lot of money. It's still kind of open as to when and if he's going to testify. I know he testified previously in another case. But just on the general topic, I was watching some of the parents who were talking yesterday and over the past few days about, losing their kids basically to social media. And I had the thought, you look at something like alcohol, which is highly addictive and highly destructive. It messes up adults, and that's why you have laws where you don't give alcohol to kids. If you give kids alcohol or addictive and dangerous drugs, you go to jail. And, increasingly, I think we look at social media, that's what it is. It's a highly addictive and dangerous drug. As you and I have talked about on many occasions, it was designed to be that. It was designed to be a dopamine addiction, and it works swimmingly. It messes, just like alcohol, it messes up adults left and right. I know people in my world, well, not directly in my world, but I've known people that I've worked with and have known over the years who are my age, who live their entire lives on social media. It's the only social interaction they have. So, when you consider how bad it is for adults, you can obviously imagine just how incredibly destructive to the developing personalities of kids would be. I'm glad the lawsuit's happening, or all these lawsuits are happening. I'm glad that, there's something going on. My problem is I don't think you can get that genie back in the bottle. I think it's here to stay. I think they committed a great sin against young people with these platforms, but I don't know how you go back from that.
Well, you don't. And the comparison to alcohol or any other drug is not a new one. We've been talking about that for years.
Oh, sure.
Remember last
I'm not
year?
being
Yeah,
relevatory, yeah.
Yeah. Next year or last year when they passed it in Australia, you and I had the conversation because they said 16-year-olds, anybody under 16 can't get on social media, which was just stupid because, of course, they get on social media. There's VPNs, there's other ways to get around these rules and these laws that they
same
set
way
up.
Kids get beer, in a sense. They always find a way.
Well, in Texas, they passed this thing, you can't have porn until you're 18 online. Well, people get around it all the time. They use VPNs and stuff like that. So the same thing is true with kids and being online. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of this is politically motivated. A lot of this comes out of the dark hands of a lot of political folks who fund the metas, who fund the others, who force out through these various ways a left-wing socialist viewpoint of the world. There are study after study after study that's been done that people get their politics now and their political proclivities from scrolling online.
Sure.
And when you consider that children spend at least now a minimum of 5 hours a day online scrolling, this is how you get into their brains for the future. You are creating and putting into their heads, and thereby creating and programming them to be a bunch of left-wing automatrons later on in life. That's the purpose of it.
Well, that's the purpose. Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
The side effect is you're destroying kids, along the way. I mean, for any number of reasons.
Well, and unfortunately, many of them commit suicide and do really terrible things like go out and shoot up schools and stuff like that. What do you do to turn back on it? Nobody has that answer.
I don't think
nobody
you can.
has an answer. You don't know what to do with that.
It's
no,
kind of like it's like artificial intelligence. It's here to stay.
Right.
The algorithm thing, though, is so weird. Now, Meta's saying they're going to come up with different ways to monitor algorithms and protect kids from but the algorithms are so bizarre. I mean, just as an adult, I've noticed, and you and I have talked about this as well. Sometimes it feels like you're almost having a thought, and you're not even talking to anybody, and the damn thing starts showing up.
Happened to me Saturday morning. It happened to me Saturday morning. I had a thought about a person I hadn't thought about in forever. Didn't say this person's name. Didn't even touch my phone. The next time I picked up my phone an hour later, and that person was the top of my line, and it was just a thought in my head.
I've noticed that crap more and more, man.
Yeah,
it's weird.
The only thing, here's my hope, is that a lot of these kids are returning to analog. A lot of them are getting away from digital stuff, like we talked about going back to vinyl.
Right.
A lot of them are going back to flip phones that do not text, that do not have all the other, the smartphone apps. They're getting away from a lot of that stuff, and so my hope is the kids are going to put down a lot of this and move on.
They're also moving back to faith in
right,
faith, church,
right. So I'm hoping that's what will happen. Alamo Water Softeners is here for you.
Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your work day golf buddies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at Silverhorn Golf Club, Monday, September 21st. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for just $100 a player. The Fall Golf Classic benefits First Tee Charity. San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Classic, presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and in part by Flight by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. Grab your spot now at sasportstar.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Imagine a clinic where you can see your primary care provider who will actually help you reduce your medications and improve your overall health. A clinic where you are rewarded for getting rid of medications. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. A place where you have a whole team of professionals that work together to balance your hormones, reduce your digestive issues, decrease inflammation, improve energy, sleep better, and get out of pain naturally. At the Institute for Functional Health, you receive state-of-the-art testing, education, and care. You are never alone, and you will have a team that is relentless in the pursuit to make you the best version of yourself. Now is the time to take care of your health. Call us at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. You don't have to worry, we can see you now. Call 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. 468-1891.
Hey, it's Sean. If your AC is struggling, my friends at John Wayne can help you fast. Call John Wayne for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. One company for the whole house. You get straight answers and clear options with no pressure. Now, if you think you need a new AC system, get a free estimate from John Wayne. Especially if another company told you that you need a big repair or a full replacement, get a free second opinion from John Wayne. A second opinion can save you from replacing a system you might not need to replace. Plus, a free estimate helps you compare your options and make a smart decision. John Wayne can inspect your system, explain what's going on, and tell you what makes the most sense. They handle AC repairs and full replacements every day here in San Antonio. So call my friends at John Wayne or book an appointment online. Either way, it's easy to get on the schedule, and you can see these great coupon offers plus other current deals on the John Wayne website. Click coupons for details. Call them up today, 210-293-6700, or look them up online at johnwayne.com.
Chris, what's the biggest mistake people make with their smart home tech?
Buying pieces without thinking about how they'll all work together.
People get excited about the latest gadgets, but forget about the system behind it all.
That's why we take a different approach at Bjorn's.
We start with your lifestyle, how you live, what you love, and build technology around you.
A home theater enthusiast doesn't need the same setup as someone working remotely or a music lover.
Every solution we create is tailored to your needs, not some one-size-fits-all package.
That's the difference between just having tech and having the right tech.
And when everything's designed to work together, it feels effortless.
You stop fighting with your system and start enjoying it.
Whether it's entertainment, lighting, privacy, or all of the above, we make it work.
Come experience what personalized technology really looks like in our showroom.
Because if it's technology,
it's at Bjorn's, just Bjorn's.
South Texas diesel owners, when your truck's down, downtime costs money. Trust the diesel experts at DPFR. DPFR, diesel problems fixed right. Learn more at dpfrsa.com or call 726-888-7990.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
The origins of COVID-19 still up for debate, and that might be because an associate of Dr. Anthony Fauci was hiding info from the federal government. We'll dig into it coming up at 8 o'clock. The battle over the Ten Commandments continues in Texas, and one of the great drummers in the history of rock is no longer with us. We'll see what happened coming up. KTSA News Time, 7:33.
Good morning. A few trouble spots as you get into your morning commute. This report sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's a stall at 410 eastbound as you approach Blanco Road. It's off to the shoulder. 1604 westbound 281. That stall's broken down in a right lane. And a minor wreck at 35 southbound 410 off to the shoulder. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm Sleep Experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today, save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny to partly cloudy, very hot with more triple-digit heat today, the high of 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy, the low 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Triple-digit heat again Thursday, clouds with limited sun, the high of 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
For right now, 76 degrees, the heat index up to 86 at San Antonio's severe weather station. Christian Blood, News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 1071.
That's hot, baby. That's super hot.
And it's going to get hotter.
Hot, hot, hot.
Hot! Be sure to hydrate.
7:35 at KTSA, Ware and Rima. This is a totally blue city and blue county now, and there's no going back from that. And they are just going to continue to spend you in a hole that this city will never get out of. And at one point, it really does take a tax revolt to do that. And we got really, really close a number of years ago in San Antonio with having a tax revolt here that it was making a difference. We had a thing called the Homeowner Taxpayer Association, and a guy by the name of C.A. Stubbs, older guy, banjo player, and wore a Stetson and a bolo tie wherever he went. And he went to every event that was happening, went to every city council meeting, kind of like Jack Finger, but was more impactful. and very country guy, not likable guy. Everybody liked CA does. And he put together this coalition of homeowners, obviously, Homeowner Taxpayer Association, and they fought the high confiscatory, ridiculous taxation that was happening in San Antonio, and they were really making a lot of headway. Thanks to the Ware pair on this radio station, Carl Wigglesworth, before he came over here, he was on WAI, and he was talking about them as well and about HTA. And we had all of their people on a regular basis. We were updating folks. Another meeting is here, another meeting's over there. Go to this meeting, go to that meeting, and the places would pack and making an impact. And then CA got sick and couldn't carry on with the mission anymore. And so that's what it takes. The toll lady up in Spring Branch, and so she did the exact same thing. It starts with a groundswell of people on the bottom rung who go, and they're just normal, everyday people who stand up and they go, I'm not putting up with this anymore, and I'm going to push back. And that's what it takes.
Terry Hall,
of course. And it's not going to, it won't come from one of the insiders at City Hall, and it won't come from one of the politicos at City Hall. They're not going to do it. The main reason is they get into office and into power because some rich fat cat company around here bankrolls them, spends the money behind the scenes, and then they're not going to do anything to step on their toes because they want to get reelected and reelected. So it takes an actual citizen movement to do it. I said all that.
And to do what? I mean, exactly. Just
right. Push back against the high taxes. So, and they do that through things like recall and all that kind of stuff that they, or, you know what, I'm just going to find other candidates who are low tax candidates.
You support low, okay.
Absolutely going to run against you, those kinds of things. So with this new budget that they are introducing, as I told you, Ron Nierenberg, and it's not just Ron, by the way. I pick on him a lot because he deserves to be picked on. But the other members of City Council walked right along with him and voted this stuff, just an incredible amount of spending that went on in this city, por nada. And so you're $178 million in the hole in San Antonio now. And without an organization that's going to push back against tax increases, guys, you are San Antonio homeowners, taxpayers, and those who have businesses in San Antonio or those who do business in San Antonio, you are about to take it in the shorts like you've never took it in the shorts before. What they're about to hit you with, you've never seen happen before. I've been talking about how with property taxes, they set you up. And I'm talking about everybody in San Antonio. Like you were a renter for a long time, you're still paying property taxes.
Oh, sure.
Because whoever owned that apartment you were living in was passing those property taxes on to you. And now as a homeowner, you're paying property taxes. But they set you up on that deal. For years, they never took you to the cap on the percentage of what the state allows them to charge. And they were able to say, we have not raised your property taxes at all. Well, the reason they said that is because they hit you with this ungodly evaluation increase every year. So, no, we didn't raise your taxes. We just raised your evaluations through the roof. Your home wasn't worth that much. And they knew it, and so did you, you know. So I've always supported if they're going to hit you with a high evaluation, they ought to pay the difference if you want to sell it to them, whatever that difference is. Anyway, it's another story, another line to kill for another time. So now that they held it steady this year, this was a total psych job. Everybody's going, oh, well, my property taxes didn't go up. And so now they're coming along going, yeah, and we're so far behind, now we're going to have to take all of the cap that the state allows. We're going to have to now, we haven't done it in 34 years, but we're going to go max cap. This was the plan all along, so they can come back next year and hit you with higher evaluations with the max cap in place, and then after that, higher evaluation. They're trying to get to the max cap, and this is how they did it this year. You could see the setup coming 100 miles away. Then, on top of all that, in the new budget, there are more than, listen closely, guys, more than 140 tax increases in the new budget. More than 140. 33 pages. 33 pages
and these
of
are taxes on what? Services and
everything.
Property? I mean, just across the board.
Everything.
Right.
In fact, I'll give you a few examples. Now, what they call it is fee increases.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the week.
Now we know exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about trash. We're talking about parking. Let me ask you a question. You gone downtown and tried to park lately?
No. I
Yeah,
try to
you better
avoid
rob
it.
a bank
I
first.
know it's very expensive.
And
Yeah.
they're going to raise it at the Alamo Dome, too.
They
right?
sure are, Elaine, and that's not the only thing they're raising at the Alamo Dome. I'll get to that in just a second. EMS is going to go way up. They're going to hit you for $99 million in new taxes. Library taxes are going up. Parking fees and taxes are going up. A fee, when they call it a fee, it's a tax.
Sure.
Show tickets. You going to bring a show here? You're going to pay more tax on top of that ticket. So now these shows, I looked at Brian Setzer the other day. Brian and Stray Cats are coming November 10th. And you couldn't get in for less than $360 in that concert.
Good Lord.
And a lot of that is taxes and service fees. Credit card fees are going up, and that's one thing that came about in COVID, and everybody's charging that 3%, putting it on your bill now. Airport fees. You want to fly in or out of San Antonio, want to park at the airport in San Antonio, get ready, because you're going to take it in the shorts if you want to park over there. Auto parts stores that have junkyards where you go get an auto part, and a lot of people in San Antonio do that, because I don't know if you've tried to buy a new auto part lately. Again, you better rob a bank first.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Background checks. You need a background check done. You're going to hire somebody. You want a background check done on that person before you hire them? They're shooting that fee way
They're
up.
going to wet their beaks on background checks? Oh, my God.
Fire inspections. You cannot open a business in San Antonio or anywhere else without having one of their inspectors come out.
Right.
And so those are going up like a lot. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that. Get your gun back. You're arrested in downtown San Antonio. They take you, and you're a concealed carry person. Well, they take your gun away before they take you to the hotel, to the Bexar County Hotel. But that's what I call it.
Bexar County Hotel.
That's right. And then when you get out to get your gun back,
you got to pay.
You got a big fee. Well, they're going to double that fee. Airbnb. You want to sleep in an Airbnb in San Antonio? They're going to hit you with a bigger fee on that. And of course, the biggest party of the year, where nobody's going to say no to this fee, they're going to hit you everywhere possible on Fiesta fees. All kinds of Fiesta fees. And that's just a few.
Right.
Like I said, there's more than 140. We could do a whole show on this. 33 pages long of all these new taxes they're going to hit you with. There is no homeowner taxpayer association in San Antonio. And, folks, I don't know if you're the one to do it. If you're the person to try to get some – George Rodriguez, I don't know where you are, but anybody who thinks they can get that done, I will support you if you want to push against these high taxes in San Antonio. Otherwise – you're going to get hit with this every year.
So you're talking about a coalition of folks who would come together to push candidates who, if they get in, would do something about that. I mean, just to boil it down into its most basic component.
Right now, they're going to be voting on this with all these new taxes. You got to have somebody or a group of folks that are going to show up. You should have seen all these blue-hairs back in the day who would show up at City Hall.
Right.
You were talking about how they do these things at 10 a.m. on a Thursday and nobody can come. Well, the blue-hairs can, and they're the property owners, and they would show up down there at City Hall, and they would raise Billy Hell is what they called it, going crazy about these tax increases, and they were making headway. They were turning a lot of that stuff back. They were making headway against.
And when was this? How long ago was this?
Oh, God. Was that the 80s and 90s, I guess? Yeah, 80s and 90s. I guess CA came on the scene maybe in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then maybe into the early 2000s.
Right.
I don't remember when it started.
But it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, this was years.
Because I agree with you. I think that's what you're going to need, But I think the biggest issue you're facing now is that so many people are just not engaged.
Right.
They're just not engaged civically at all. They don't watch the news. They don't watch local news. They don't keep up on local issues.
Right, but they're paying for all this.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are paying for it.
Yeah.
But getting that message out to folks when you have voter turnout at such abysmal numbers and civic involvement at such abysmal numbers is going to be a task.
Well, and that was part of the problem, too, is that so many of the people that were conservatives, they just left San Antonio.
Well, yeah.
They're we talked about.
I know people who have done that, actually.
We talked about New Braunfels and all these places that have grown like crazy right now. A lot of people, like Bernie. I was in Bernie yesterday. It's a major city now. A lot of people left San Antonio for that purpose, to get out of here because they saw what was coming, the high crime that was happening here, and then just this kind of thing that I'm talking about. But again, I mean, canary in a coal mine here. You guys in San Antonio, you are on the precipice of being Chicago. Not just with all this blue crap that they're doing and the amount of money that they're spending, but the high crime, and hopefully Jesse's going to be able to do something about this. I saw yesterday where Commissioner's Court is going to put in a commission to take a look at the Bexar County Jail because this sheriff doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground when it comes to running a jail. Sorry to put it that way, but it's actually true. So now Commissioner's Court, they have appointed a special commission to figure out what the hell's wrong at the jail.
Well, good.
You need it.
People who are dying in the jail.
Right. All right.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Exactly right. All right, we'll take a quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. Nightly insurance.
Blindster.com. Loop 410, eastbound as you approach Blanco Road, that stalls off to the shoulder. On Castroville Road, eastbound, westbound, Acme, getting reports of an accident right at the intersection. 35 northbound New Braunfels, disabled vehicle off to the left shoulder. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, save big, no retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The conversation doesn't end when the show does. Keep listening, keep watching, and keep scrolling with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Discover the difference that Jesus Christ can make in your life at Cornerstone Church, located at 18755 Stone Oak Parkway in San Antonio. Every Sunday morning at 8:30 and 11 and Sunday evenings at 6:30, join Pastors John and Matt Hagee as they preach the uncompromising Word of God. Can't make it to the church? Cornerstone offers live streaming of all the Sunday worship services. You can find them each Sunday online at jhm.org and on Facebook Live. JHM.org also offers on-demand sermons by Pastors John and Matt Hagee, concerts with award-winning Christian artists, as well as special, well-known guest speakers from around the nation and the world. Cornerstone Church offers encouragement for every stage of life. They have special programs for kids, teens, and young adults as well. So bring your family and friends to Cornerstone Church at the corner of 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. For more information, visit sacornerstone.org or call 210-490-1600. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
For a lot of people, just hearing the word dentist brings anxiety. Maybe you've been putting it off for years because of fear or because you're embarrassed. I get it. But Dr. Mark J. Williamson in San Antonio has built his entire dental practice around people just like you. At Dr. Williamson and Associates, you'll never be judged. You'll be cared for. His team listens, takes their time, and tailors every treatment to you. And if you're really anxious, Dr. Williamson offers IV sedation so you can literally sleep through your appointment and wake up with a healthy smile. Sometimes taking care of years of neglect in just one morning. So don't fear the dentist. Take that first step toward confidence and health. Right off Loop 410 and Cherry Ridge. Call 210-341-2569 or visit mjwdental.com. That's mjwdental.com. I'm
Richard Cavazos, owner of Pride Floors and Construction. Hardwood flooring does more than just change a room. It elevates the entire home. It adds warmth, depth, natural beauty, and the kind of timeless character that never goes out of style. At Pride Floors, we help you choose floors that feel custom to the way you live. From beautiful oak, maple, hickory, and exotic hardwood floors, wire brush finishes to wide, longer planks with rich, natural movement, our showroom is filled with wood floor styles that bring elegance, comfort, and lasting value to your home. We are a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. My wife and I, along with our 3 sons, and a lifetime labor warranty give you confidence long after the project is complete. There's no pressure, just helpful guidance, fair pricing, and clear communication from start to finish. Visit pridefloors.com, schedule a free in-home estimate, or stop by our showroom by 1604 on Lock Hill, Selma anytime. I'm Richard, owner of Pride Floors and Construction. We take pride in our floors. You can take pride in your home.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
5 years without buying soap, shampoo, detergent, or cleaners. Buy a Kinetico softener, get a free K5 drinking station, plus 5 years of Pure and Gentle. Ends August 31st. Go to KineticoSA.com.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. The Jack and Jesse Show. Jack Riccardi, Jesse Salome. This coming Saturday, 6 p.m., Sunday at 3 p.m., a repeat of the Big Alamo Lounge event from this past Monday. You can hear it live, or you can hear it recorded, that is, here on KTSA. We're Ware and Rima.
Let's talk about tattoos for a second. Let's take a break from all the serious stuff here. I know this is not a news story, but I don't follow Nancy Mace, but I heard Kat Timpf talking about this, and I love Kat Timpf.
I was just thinking about this.
Were you just thinking about this story?
I'm not kidding you, man. We're doing the Facebook thing. That thought was in my head. I was going to come out and say, so this story's been out for a week. When are you going to talk about Nancy's sleeves?
I don't, like I said, I don't follow Nancy Mace.
Oh, I do.
I love Kat Timpf, and she brought it up.
That's spooky, man.
It is.
That is scary.
We're all married couple, Trey.
Oh my God, that's scary.
We got an algorithm, you and I, and I guess it came out that Nancy, she's going to be doing a podcast because that's original. But she did come out and say that, she got 9 tattoos. She got sleeved. She's got a whole bunch of tattoos. And when it came out, when she was talking about this, she said that, what was it? I went to go get the pain that I needed to feel.
That's what she said. I mean, she was raped, so.
You're right. Yeah. I'm not diminishing, anything about that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
But that's the reference to that.
As a healing thing.
Yeah.
People get tattoos for the very same reason,
right.
All the time. I haven't actually seen the tats yet. I haven't seen any images of them. I bet they're pretty good. I mean,
it's both arm sleeves,
right?
And so I had this thought. They're just there's not any cohesion. It's not like a storyboard.
Sure.
It's just a thought here and a thought there. It's kind of random type stuff that's on her.
Right.
But my thought was one of the pictures she puts up was in a bikini top, and the guys aren't looking at her sleeves. I can tell you that. I'm not being a horn dog. I'm just telling you the truth.
And I haven't actually seen it. So
okay, it's out there. It's all over the place. New York Post. They've all had it for several days. So.
Right. Like I said, I hadn't heard about her tats yet until I heard Kat Timpf talking about it, and Kat Timpf had a great line last night, which I'm not going to say on the air, but because I need the game. But anyway.
I'll play it if you'll send it to me.
Well, Kat Timpf had a double mastectomy because Jesse asked her if she had any tattoos, and she said, well, only 2.
Oh, yeah.
But, I wanted to use it as kind of a springboard about the whole tattoo conversation. I know you've been talking for years about getting some tattoos. I've got 6 crappy ones. Well, I like the one on my forearm, but most of mine are not the best tattoos in the world.
And he does not have a tramp stamp, he told me.
I do not have a tramp stamp,
right.
No. I'm going to get one more on my hand just to kind of finish off what I had started a few years ago.
When you put your name on your hand, was that because you were having a hard time remembering your name?
No, it's Reverend Sean is what I was going for, so I could hold up my hands and be a cool guy and say, hey, look, Reverend Sean, it's me. But I was going to get more on this left hand, but I just haven't done it yet. I actually have a family member who's very good. He's just became a tattoo artist within the past 5 years. He's actually very good, Matthew. So I'm probably going to have him do that work. But point being,
yes,
I've gotten to the point where tattoos, everybody's got them. Everybody's just got loads and loads of tattoos. You see people every day, and they're just tatted up from head to toe, Trey. It's just not as special as it used to be.
Not cool anymore, is it?
It's just not as special as it used to be. You see grandmothers who are tatted from head to toe. You see people everywhere tatted up. I'm not going to go full Riccardi, because Riccardi's thing has always been, well, everybody gets them, so I'm not going to, which I think is interesting. That makes him interesting, not having any tattoos, especially now, because everybody's got tattoos.
That's one of the reasons I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Everybody's got them.
I'm like, well, everybody's got them, so why do you want them? I mean, you're not unique or special anymore. Now, would you have those removed?
No.
You wouldn't do the laser thing?
No.
No? Well,
No,
you don't have to get
my
upset. I'm just asking.
I'm not upset.
Okay. Like, no.
If you upset me, you'll know. No, I'm not upset.
Everybody does not have them. And the people that you guys are hanging around, they probably don't have a professional job.
What are you talking about? People go to tattoo parlors all the time, man. Everybody's tatted up. It's all over the place. I'm just saying.
I see a lot of them.
When I started, and that's why a lot of mine look crummy. When I started, which was in the, I guess I got my first tattoo mid-90s. It was kind of a new thing. People weren't really doing it a lot, And the reason I went to get the first one is a production director I worked with, Dino, back east at a rock station, got one. He was one of the first people to get a tattoo, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to go get a tattoo. But now it's just so ordinary. Everybody's got them all over the place.
Blew my mind one time. Nancy was on a cruise, and you got to know Nancy. She's so quiet, demure, conservative.
Right.
She's not a wild child. She's not crazy in any shape, form, or fashion. She is so not that. And she called me while she was on a cruise by herself. And she called me. She said, "Well, I almost did it today." And I said, "Did what?" She said, I stopped at a tattoo shop. I almost got one on my ankle.
Wow.
Like, you? Now, she didn't. She doesn't have any. But it was like, oh, my God. You? You're the last person I would expect. Anyway, more Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
Prevent an AC breakdown at your home. Start with the $89 AC tune-up from John Wayne. This tune-up includes a full 35-point inspection to keep your AC running factory fresh. Now, they don't just glance at it. They go through the system step by step. John Wayne will remove the top of your condenser fan to clean the inside of your unit properly from the inside out. That deep cleaning helps remove debris that can rust out the base of your unit. A tune-up can also help your system run better, longer, and more reliably when the heat hits. And if your system is older and you're ready for an upgrade, ask about their new AC system options. John Wayne has a cooling coupon for up to $3,000 off new qualifying AC systems. See their current offers online at johnwayne.com. Call my friends at John Wayne or book an appointment online and get it knocked out before the next heat wave. Call them up today, 210-293-6700, or look them up online at johnwayne.com.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
Leon was about to leave the military.
My biggest concern was, what am I going to do next?
He found out about My Computer Career and their military transition program.
The Cyber Warrior program takes you from not knowing anything about a computer at all to being a subject matter expert.
How long is that going to take?
In the span of 4 months, I was able to get 4 different certifications.
4 months? Leon's advice?
Highly recommended.
Become a certified cyber warrior in just months at mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. VA education benefits available to those who qualify.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station. KTSA.
It's 8 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. A former senior advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci is facing up to 5 years in prison, and that's because he has pled guilty to concealing records related to the origin of COVID-19. Dr. David Morenz will be sentenced in November. He conspired to defraud the Fed while working at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Fauci himself remains under the microscope after he pleaded the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times during a Senate hearing on COVID-19 late last month. Governor Abbott's getting cooperation from the Data Center Coalition on future projects.
He made the announcement Tuesday, and it means the sector's membership group will follow guidelines set forth in Texas by the governor. Data centers have become a hot topic as of late, with many communities concerned about how these operations will affect property values and natural resources. The Public Utilities Commission of Texas and the Electric Reliability Council of Texas will be involved in gauging compliance. If a given data center project can't comply with Texas standards, it'll have to go somewhere else. Elias Oswald, KTSA News.
The 10 Commandments going up in Texas public schools, and some are not happy about it.
Supporters of classroom displays of the 10 Commandments say it's not about proselytizing non-Christians. Instead, says Alabama State Representative Mark Gidley,
this is about returning a foundational principle to our schools.
While opponents insist
no school district should be posting them.
Attorney Chloe Kemp is with the ACLU, which has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to consider the constitutionality of the Texas law that requires the posting of the 10 Commandments in every public schoolroom in the state.
That's correspondent Jim Ryan. One of the great drummers in the world of rock is no longer with us.
I might be mistaken.
ZZ Top's Frank Beard passed away Monday at his home in Texas. Born in the East Texas town of Frankston, Beard joined ZZ Top way back in 1969. He'd been having some health issues as of late. No cause of death has been given. Multiple ZZ Top concerts have been canceled, but word has it surviving band member and guitar player Billy Gibbons plans to carry on. Bassist and keyboard player Dusty Hill passed away in 2021. KTSA News Time is 8:02. Let's get with Rob Thompson right here, KTSA Sports.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboy joint practice with the New Orleans Saints got a little heated. Last count, there were nearly 7 or 8 dust-ups, including Donovan Ezeraku getting thrown out of practice. They did the day off today to cool off. They'll get busy again tomorrow with the Saints in Oxnard to finish up the joint practice session. In college football news, Texas Longhorns left tackle Trevor Gooseby had an MRI on his left knee and has been diagnosed with a bone bruise. He was named AP preseason All-American first team at tackle. As a matter of fact, several Longhorns made it. Cam Coleman at wide receiver, Colin Simmons and Rasheem Biles at linebacker were also first-team AP preseason All-Americans. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and a look at KTSA AccuWeather next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
There's an expression, when it rains, it pours. Golly, have we had rain and flooding, even tornadoes. And when the storms passed, we saw Texans helping Texans. That's who we are. Pray for those folks that were impacted by these storms and pray for our first responders. Hi, I'm Robin Hoppes with Big State Financial. Were you prepared for these storms? Did you protect your loved ones, your home, your future? Let me ask you this, are you prepared for a financial storm? Remember the mortgage bubble in 2008-2009 and COVID in 2020? If you're close to retirement or already retired, can you recover from another financial storm? Let me help you plan and prepare for a stress-free retirement. Take the first step. Go to my website, bigstatefinancial.com, and register for your complimentary financial review. That's bigstatefinancial.com. I love you, Texas. You are strong, you're resilient, and you're deep in my heart. God bless you all.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Hi, Trey Ware here. If you have pain and limited movement, you're not able to do the things you love to do, but you're not interested in surgery to get better, then contact my friends at Evolve Medical Group. They do PRP, stem cell, hormone replacement, and so much more. They even do primary care at evolvemedgroup.com.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time is 8:05. Let's get a quick check of KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, heads up on 35 on the south side. Northbound Malone, that's an accident, left lane. 17-minute delay as you stop and go from Southwest Military. 35 northbound Benz Engelman, that stall's taking up a right lane. And northbound 35 between 410 to O'Connor, that's about a 10-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Triple-digit heat continues straight through the weekend. Sunny to partly cloudy today with the high of 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy. 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Very hot again Thursday. Clouds and limited sun, the high up to 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Temperature right now 77, but the heat index up to 90 at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
There's Billy right there, Billy F. My favorite ZZ songs coming up in honor of Frank Beard. But before we get there, we got a real mano-a-mano. The man running to be senator in the state of Texas. He drives himself a Ram pickup truck, wears a big black cowboy hat, got himself a pair of Wranglers cinched up real nice and tied on him, you know what I mean?
Does he?
Huh?
Does he?
You wearing Wranglers?
Yeah.
He's wearing Wranglers.
He's wearing Wranglers, and of course
they're actually tough skins.
and he's got the hunk of meat in his hands because he wants you to think that he's a real man standing up, of course, for the oil and gas business in the state of Texas. But let's hear from the candidate himself.
I think I would embarrass myself and my family if I ever was in the same room as First Lady Michelle Obama. And I think I could hold myself together a little bit better if I was in the room with Senator Harris, and it wouldn't be such a fanboy. So
he's going to be a fanboy when old Michelle walks in the room. Well, listen, it's always good to know the alpha dog and the bigger man when somebody's around in the room. Sorry, I had to toss that one in there, didn't I?
See how you are.
The bigger man.
Because Michelle's a man, baby.
That's right. Big Mike.
She's a dude.
Big man. So there are some questions swirling around this campaign, and since ABC ain't going to touch them, I will. Okay. Texas Senate race, James Tallarico, election authorities accepting campaign donations from out-of-state donors that could be illegal. He's already had to return over 840,000 of them. Over 1 million apparently are not supposed to be flowing into his campaign. The FEC, Federal Elections Commission, has flagged 143 donors over the $3,500 limit. Now, that's for the campaign itself. Of course, you're not going to hear about that in regular radio and TV because they're going to slide on by that stuff because they don't want that out there in the public consciousness. But here in the truth bubble in this room, you're going to hear it. The other thing that they're not talking about is the absolute fact that he had a different address than the address he was registered to vote in.
Right.
5 separate elections, and I told you about this 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I brought this up. And then KXAN, which is the television station in Austin, looked into it, and they reached out to the
What?
Yeah, I don't even want to say the name. They reached out to his campaign, and this is what they found out.
What is the Tallarico campaign saying to you about your latest story?
Sure. The Tallarico campaign didn't respond to our repeated questions about where he had lived, where he had registered to vote, when those things changed, and our assertion, our finding that he appeared to have voted where he no longer lived.
So he was appearing to vote where he no longer lived, that he didn't have the address there. He was registered at Mama's place, and which was not where he was actually living, but he was voting apparently, allegedly, at Mama's place. And when followed up by these news channels, they refused to answer the questions. Now, this is not new for the Tallarico campaign. If it's not a staged event and a controlled environment, they don't allow anybody to do like Donald Trump does.
Yeah, he doesn't just walk up and start talking to anybody.
It's not allowed.
That, yeah.
It's not allowed.
Right.
There is no question. There are no question and answer periods.
Right.
There's no pressers where he just stands in front of all these people that are gathered around him with microphones and all that. That's not allowed. They will not do any events like that at all. I checked into this. What they will do is if it's a controlled environment where it's like you and me and you have a camera or a staffer in the campaign, then the staffer records him, they edit what they want it to say, and then they'll put that out as their deal. But as far as having like a Q&A session with him, no, baby, no.
I have noticed that because, he's a high-profile candidate, even though he's a lizard. I mean, we all agree on that. But you normally would see, comments here and there walking down the street or in certain situations, and there's none of that with this guy.
Well,
he wants to control the message entirely, man.
What they're trying to do is lie their way into the office.
Sure.
Right? And so he's a big, tough bruiser, and he's not. He's a little bitty boy who's probably not straight. I don't know.
But what it tells you is that he's obviously, and they're obviously not comfortable at all with him being asked questions on the fly and him having to give a response on the fly.
Or maybe he is, and it's the wrong answer.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Because remember, I've gone through and I found the audio of what he would say when he was on the floor of the Texas House, and it ain't what they want him to say now.
Right.
And even written stuff, where he's talked to reporters in the past, which was fine when he was in the Texas Ledge because he was already elected, and he could say whatever he wanted to then. But, man, they don't want him saying that stuff right now as he's trying to win in the state of Texas. It's a very highly controlled and contrived environment for James Tallarico right now.
He's less a real human being and more a product of a kind that they're
100%
trying to
a
sell.
product.
You know what I mean? He's not really an actual human being.
100% a product. That's exactly. He's a completely prepackaged, put together product that they're selling, and they can't have any warts turn up on this guy. They can't have him do a Joe Biden and screw up and say something.
Well, yeah, and
right?
again, if you're comfortable, if you're comfortable with your opinion set and your agenda, you'll speak it proudly, not try to reconfigure it or lie about what it actually is. Moreover, then, if you're comfortable in your own intellect, right, you'll answer any question anybody throws at you. But he's not doing any of that.
If you're comfortable in your positions too,
sure.
Which Donald Trump clearly he'll talk to anybody anytime because he's comfortable in his positions. He knows what he believes.
Right.
He has the power of what? Conviction. And so he's willing to talk to any member of the media at any time, even the hostile media, all the time. James Tallarico has no power of conviction that the people of Texas want. Remember, it boils down to this. Do the people want what you're trying to sell? And the answer is clearly no.
Well,
No.
right. But, I mean, it is interesting, the dichotomy, because Trump is routinely accused of being, negative and hateful of the press, and he's been accused of trying to shut down a free press, and yet he's the most accessible politician, really, in the country right now. He's the president, but you want to talk to him, you can talk to him. This guy,
No, you can't.
You don't hear nothing from this guy,
well,
man.
because he's a meat-eating, truck-driving, cowboy,
God.
horse-riding cowboy from the
Right.
state of Texas. Instead of some little weak-kneed, limp-wristed boy running around who's giving his telephone number to students in his classroom and saying, call me tonight, call me tonight. There's something wrong with a guy when the number one thing that's on his mind, his words, not mine, is transing children, making sure children can transition to the opposite sex. And while he was a teacher, giving them his phone number, his personal cell phone, and saying, call me tonight.
I mean, if not for that, I would say, well, he's just being a typical Democrat, and that it's a typical agenda. But the thing with the kids is a little disturbing.
He's a freak. He's a total freak. So, and you know what, Texas. I cannot believe Texas is going to elect this guy. All the media here, from the Texas Tribune to whatever these K stations are up in Austin, they're all behind him, all trying to push.
There's his latest commercial. Where
Oh,
he's
I know. His latest commercial has his
Papa.
grandfather, who is a
Papa.
Baptist preacher.
Oh, God.
So anyway, I'm going to continue to expose this guy and the truth about this guy, because Texans need to know the truth of this guy, and what they're selling on TV, whether it's with his pawpaw or whether it's to the Texas Tribune, ain't the truth. Well, that's what they said. That's what he said. This is my pawpaw.
Oh, God.
You ain't seen this one. He's sitting on a porch with this old man. He goes, "This
in
is
a rocking chair."
in a rocking chair.
Of course.
This is my pawpaw. My pawpaw is a Baptist preacher. Hi, pawpaw. It's like, how
God.
old are you? How old are you?
He is a child. You look at the guy.
Hi,
he has the
Papa.
mental intellect. He has the intellect of a child. He obviously has the if his mom still has a bank account with his mom, he's not a fully grown ass adult.
Meanwhile, Ken Paxton, by the way, I was throwing on Ken last week because he just looks terrible on TV. He sounds terrible and all that. He went on the Benny Johnson podcast yesterday. Guys, if you have access to the Benny Johnson podcast, go watch Ken Paxton. That's his environment.
Well, I could see
That's his
that,
environment, man. Good Lord, he was good.
I could see that in a conversational podcast with Paxton because he's got better ideas. He's a very intelligent guy.
Oh, my
You put
gosh.
him on a stage, it's a whole different thing. But, again, what are we voting for? Ideas or, somebody's camera charisma? You know what I mean?
Well, yes, I do know what you mean.
Neither one of them has any real charisma. Tallarico doesn't have any charisma. He doesn't, light you up when you see him in front of a TV camera either.
Nope.
But, of course, he's not in front of a lot of them, so, it doesn't hurt him as much. But I could see Paxton being a lot better in a conversational situation.
Let me give you a little bit of it. Just a little bit of him with
We were
Benny
trying
Johnson.
to force her to leave the state and have an abortion. And we stepped in and got a court order blocking her. And then we got a court order requiring that the baby be treated, life-saving treatment be done. So that baby had surgery yesterday, the first surgery of 3 on his heart. And as far as I know, it went well. So, yeah.
So he's talking about the baby that came here that was the one in the
baby Gabriel,
yeah, needed the heart surgery. So this format where he's just in a relaxed, laid-back kind of mode, he's not a soundbite candidate where you can take a clip.
Right.
You need to listen to him speak, and you go, this guy's really good.
That's what he needs to do more of. You know what I mean? Because that, again, people who are really smart people, but they're not, camera-friendly or all that charisma, bombastic in their charisma, I think always do a lot better when they're just sitting and talking.
Yep.
I've seen a couple of guys on the Hannity podcast that had that effect, where they're just talking about their ideas.
Go to Rogan.
Yeah, Rogan, same thing.
Do Rogan.
Trump learned that.
Yep. I'll tell you about our friends at New Bath.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, heads up on 35 on the south side. Northbound Malone, that's an accident, left lane. 17-minute delay has you stop and go from Southwest Military. 35 northbound Ben Zengelman, that stall's taking up a right lane. And northbound 35 between 410 to O'Connor, that's about a 10-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
One city, one station, one source for breaking news, live coverage, and the stories shaping tomorrow.
Staying informed is important.
News Talk 550, KTSA, and FM 1071. Stay connected.
Hey, it's Trey for Here in Texas, HEAR, HearandTX.com. Get together with them and let them evaluate your hearing and prescribe hearing aids for you to improve the quality of your life as they did for me. But don't wait. Now is the time. Here, HEAR, HearandTX.com.
Losing power? Check engine light? Stop guessing. At DPFR, we diagnose and repair diesel trucks the right way. DPFR. Diesel problems fixed right. Call 726-888-7990 or visit dpfrsa.com.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Texas coast to the Texas Hill Country, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
What if one smart decision could improve your water and eliminate 5 years of shopping for everyday soaps and cleaners? This month only, buy a Connecticut water softener and receive a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system at your kitchen sink. Plus, 5 full years of pure and gentle personal care and household cleaning products. That means no buying hand soap, body wash, shampoo, laundry detergent, dish soap, all-purpose cleaners, and more for 5 full years. You can choose from a wide variety of fragrances or select fragrance-free options for your family. Connecticut gives your home better water, helps protect your plumbing and appliances, and is built to be the last water softener you will ever own. But this offer ends August 31st. Once August is over, the 5-year pure and gentle package is over too. So make the wise decision. Call Connecticut today and get better water, a free K5 station, and 5 years of essentials. A one-time, limited-time Connecticut offer at 210-656-PURE.
MedicoSA.com. Make your commute easier. New homes in the most desirable areas, ranging from the low 100,000s to the 500,000s. Discover affordable home ownership at Lennar.com today. Promotions and offers will vary by community. See a new home consultant for additional information and offer terms. Lennar is an equal housing opportunity builder.
San Antonio's most listened to news talk station, 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hey, make sure you're listening Saturday 6 p.m., Sunday at 3 p.m. Jack Riccardi, Jesse Salome here on KTSA. It's 8:21. We are Ware and Rima.
You know, you said something very interesting a little while ago that I want to come back to, so I thought it was a great point about David Morenz and the whole COVID thing. And we've been talking about this plea with this guy. A couple of years ago, we had seen these emails between he and the EcoHealth guy saying, "Here, this is how I talk to Anthony. I either hand him a hard copy or I use a personal email." And now all this stuff, more of this stuff's coming out. And I had said a lot during the Biden administration that, you know, they're not lying to us, whether it's about Biden's condition or it's about COVID or whatever it was, okay? Kamala Harris and that whole thing, okay? They weren't lying to you and me because they know that we're not ever going to support them. We're not a part of that community. You know, we're in the truth bubble, as you say, so they don't give a crap if guys like you and me and MAGA and conservatives know they're lying and they're full of crap, because they don't need us. You know what I mean? They're never going to have us, so they don't need us. Okay.
Not going to win me over.
Not going to win me over either. So they don't have to lie to us to a certain extent. I used to say back then, the people they're really lying to are their own support base. They're lying to Democrats. They lied. You know, they screwed over Democrats with the Kamala swap. They lied to Democrats about a lot of the stuff that was going on during the Biden administration. And lied with abandon, and so did their media. And you had said a little while ago that, you know, when it comes to the COVID stuff, okay, they were not just, because in that case, well, yeah, they were lying to us, but that you said they're lying, they were lying to Democrats too. Everybody, as far as the pandemic, this involved all human beings. It didn't matter, you know, who you voted for, what your political affiliations were. This was a global pandemic. It was biological. It affected everybody.
Democrats died because of their lies, too.
Yeah, that's what you said. I thought it was a great point, you know, that they lied to Democrats as well who suffered under this crap. And, you know, I come back to the idea, and I know this is almost a naive thought, that they still worship Fauci. They still will savage anybody who is critical of him or critical of the forced policies, which we now know, everybody knows it was crap. I mean, all that stuff about the masking, the social distancing, not having Thanksgiving, it was all a bunch of crap. That is common knowledge now. I guess I am routinely surprised. Why aren't more Democrats pissed off? Why aren't more Democrats upset that they were lied to like everybody else? We always come back to the morality thing, or they don't, they just can't walk away from the home team, no matter what the home team does.
That's true too. But also, first of all, the thing I always say is they're immoral. A lot of them are just immoral as can be. They have no morals, and you're trying to put morals on them where there are no morals. But the other thing is this truth bubble is absolutely right. That we are talking about David Marin's today. This is a conversation that Kristen and I had early this morning before we went on the air, and nobody was carrying that story.
It's not being covered. You're right.
Nobody was talking about the David Marin story at all. I did a video on it when I first got here and sent it over to Sam, and I think it's up now. But this story was not anywhere. You couldn't find it anywhere. And so they're driving around out there, and if ABC or CBS or CNN does a news on their station, whatever they're listening to or whatever they're watching, or on TikTok or whatever, it doesn't include this. They swept it under the rug until just a few minutes ago. He came in and said they finally put it up on their site.
That's right. They know more about Rosie O'Donnell filling in for Kimmel than they know about, the fact that we now have, you can't argue against the truth that we were all lied to on multiple levels during the pandemic.
Right, and not that they would get all up in arms if they found that out. But here's two more examples. Chris Cuomo and Terry Moran, okay? Terry Moran is the guy who used to be on ABC, and I played the sound from him this week about Fauci crap canning a story he put together. Remember that? They ran about okay.
Yes.
All right. He's still on that very podcast when he was talking about that. He said, but Anthony Fauci's a real, true American hero. He saved so many lives during AIDS and all that stuff. And Chris Cuomo's doing the same thing. Chris called up Adam Carolla's show, or sent Adam a text the other day. He said, hey, dude, because Adam's throwing some shade on Cuomo because Cuomo kissed Fauci's butt. Cuomo got really sick with it. And Carolla's been on him on his podcast. So, Cuomo sends a deal to Carolla and says, hey, man, why are you throwing me so much shade? He said, because you're still lying about Fauci. To this day, Cuomo's still kissing Fauci's butt. Well, and Carolla's going, you guys trashed me and Aaron Rodgers for not taking all that.
Yeah.
And he said, screw you. He said, you're the one who did it.
I think a lot of it, too, is just pure stupid ego. And the Democrats, they just cannot. One thing you will never hear is a Democrat admit they were wrong. When is the last time you heard any Now, I'm not saying Republicans are free of that.
Because they do it, too.
They do, but the political
Absolutely.
mind.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, in general, like I've noticed this with people that I just know who are Democrats, who they're never wrong. They can never admit they're wrong about anything.
No, because it costs them something to do so, and they don't want to lose that. Texas Rhino Shield.
Win at KTSA.com. Good luck from News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Well, I talk a lot about water. It's a big, important issue for all of us. I'm a big believer in taking care of our water. And I'm a big believer that, a lot of our health issues for the long term in our bodies start with our water. And if you want to have better water for your home, reach out to my friends over at Alamo Water Softeners. I was their first customer in 2009. I'm proud of that because when Alan Townsend started this company, he said, I'm going to build a water treatment system, complete system, including the softener and everything else, for this area. And boy, did he do it. And, of course, over the years, that was in 2009, it's improved. It's gotten better. It's gotten better. It's gotten better. So I'm going to tell you this is the best system I've ever seen. And I tried them all. That's how I got to know Alan. He was at Brand X, and we were trying all different ones. You don't need any other. You don't need to try any of them because I did all that for you. Check it out. They got the all-in-one home bundle, premium water care, water softener, reverse osmosis drinking water system, a leak detection protection, and water heater, all for better water in your home. And for qualified homeowners, 36 months, 0% financing as well. AlamoWaterSofteners.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
Things in Washington, D.C. may seem unsettled at times by their lack of progress. But one department in the U.S. government is progressing. That is the IRS. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS is in full function to collect on unpaid taxes. If you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and get it resolved. Don't think the government is too busy to focus on my issues. Too many of my clients thought the same. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Lance Story Law Firm. Our office is right here in San Antonio, or call 726-202-1300 or visit LanceStoryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Before getting full mouth implants, here's what I wish I knew. Not every implant provider is the same.
The surgeon matters, the experience matters.
The procedure is too important to choose based on speed or price alone.
That's why I chose Doctor's Implants, led by Dr. Andrew Mueller. When it matters this much, expertise is everything.
Full mouth dental implants aren't just about replacing teeth. They're about getting your life back. Eat what you want, smile without hesitation, and stop living through the cycle of failing teeth and temporary dental work. Discover the permanent solution at Doctor's Implants.
Get your no-cost medical evaluation today and be done with dentists.
Call now, 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs, 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at MrElectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A former senior advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci facing years in prison after he pled guilty to destroying records on COVID-19. San Antonio police think they found a stolen SUV connected to a fatal shooting on the northwest side early Tuesday morning. And data centers are coming to Texas, but Governor Abbott insists they'll only be doing so on the state's terms. We'll get the latest on that story and others coming up at 9 o'clock. KTSA News Time, 8:33.
Good morning. Looks like we've cleared a couple of our trouble spots. This report sponsored by Allstate. Picked up that roadwork 35 northbound 410 to O'Connor that is now reopened, and the wreck at 35 northbound Malone south side has cleared. 35 northbound Ben Zengelman, disabled vehicle right lane, and 35 northbound New Braunfels, stall left lane blocked. Wish you could save on home insurance. With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Sizzling temperatures with sunny to partly cloudy skies today. The high hits 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy and warm. The low 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Blazing heat again for Thursday. Clouds and limited sun, the high of 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
77 degrees in the real feel, up to 89 at San Antonio's Severe Weather Station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Because I can't have you talking over this one, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Oh, man. You know, that's got to be. I've been good. Dallas, Texas. Hollywood. I gotta say you, man. Out of all, what you looking at me like this, shaking your head at me? Yeah, what's up? What? Jimmy's shaking his head.
Because he does that all the time.
Oh my God!
Right before they say something, he says it.
Anyway, that's Billy and the boys, and that was them at one of their finest hours. I think my two favorite ZZ Top songs. That's it. That one and Blue Jean Blues. Y'all ever heard Blue Jean Blues, man?
Not in a long time.
I don't know that one, but I'm not a big. I don't know not a lot about their music.
Rough Boy's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just because it's so different from the rest of their stuff.
Yeah,
that's why it stands out.
Yeah,
I do want to grow one of those beards, though. I got to get through this movie project I'm in right now, but my goal is I want to grow a long beard down past my belly.
Well, Frank Beard died yesterday at 77, and he'd been sick for a while. We don't know what it is, you know,
right,
and they're not doing an autopsy. They said they're not going to do one.
Wow.
Obviously, the family pretty well knows he'd been in hospice. He'd been sick for what is the matter? Elaine's like, why are you talking about an old dead man? He's an old dead man.
They're not doing an autopsy because he's dead, and he's 77.
It's
all bound to happen.
It's always a good idea, Elaine. Elaine, look at me. Look over here. Look at me. It's always a good idea to wait until they're dead before you do the autopsy. You should.
They don't want to know because they already know he's
Trey.
an old ass man and he's dead.
He's not
worth a lot of money, though.
77 is not old. There's
true.
nothing old about 70.
It's a little old.
It's not. No, it's not.
77's old.
See, it is not old. 77 is not old, y'all. And so, but I mean, in that situation, they knew obviously.
They know what it is. It's
right.
not,
That's why they're not doing the
correct.
autopsy.
That's what I said. That's what I was saying. But you know, these guys are Texas icons, and two of them are gone. In that song right there, you had Frankie on the drums, and you had Dusty singing. And Billy was just along for the ride. I'm just kidding.
Unless Billy's a vampire, he's going to go too.
You know, he is a vampire.
Thanks for that ray of sunlight there, Elaine.
You know, what's funny about being around Billy all these years is that back in the 70s, right? It was Billy and the boys and all these young hangers-on, these groupies, right, that were there, and they were running around. And then the groupies then a little bit later on turned into wives. And they had kids suddenly running around backstage.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they had grandkids running around backstage.
They were good looking when they were young.
Yeah, they were.
Remember that video or the song Legs?
Oh, yeah. and now Billy has great grandkids running around backstage.
Wow, man.
So that's how long they've been around. And, you know, did you just mention Legs? Is that the one you brought up?
Yes, I like
She
that.
got legs.
I love the video.
Yeah.
She knows how to use them.
From Eliminator a long time ago.
Yep.
Mid-1980s is when this one came out.
See, I was listening to really depressing music back then.
And you guys were talking about MTV earlier.
In the early 80s?
Yeah.
I remember that video.
Yeah.
Do you remember
I've always listened to depressing music.
Do you remember the keychains, the ZZ keychains?
I had one.
I remember those.
Yeah, I still do. I have several of them. Yeah.
This was the album that introduced me to ZZ Top. In my age group, we thought that was the first album.
You know where that?
I did. We did. I'd never. You know, I'm in Maryland. You never heard of ZZ Top until that record, and it's like, whoa, these guys are freaky.
You know where that car was built?
No.
And air conditioned as well, right here in San Antonio.
No, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Jack
Really?
Chisenhall, what was called Chisenhall Air, and then became San Antonio Auto Air, did the air conditioning. That he's done it for all these famous TV cars and vintage auto air, and so he did that car as well. And we used to be, you could go over and see it.
Right.
Billy's a big car guy. You know, he's got all kinds of cars.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
But
They all did.
Christian's point, you know, again, growing up in the hard scrabble streets of Annapolis, Maryland, for me, it was like, oh, those are the hairy guys that twirl their guitars. Like, we just didn't know. I mean, you're about as far from the Texas music scene as you could possibly get. So he's right. when Eliminator came out, that was our first sort of introduction to ZZ Top. We didn't know they'd been around forever.
But Sean, I grew up in Dallas, Fort Worth. I had no excuse.
Well, you should be ashamed.
Yeah, right?
I had an excuse, okay? I couldn't hear him through the sail rigging, but
In fact, I did yeah.
This is Eliminator, yeah. Got me under pressure. I mean, just really good. I mean, that's the stuff you can put on
music.
and just cruise down the highway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Frank. This is motorcycle music, man. This is cruising. Here we go. I mean, so anyway, our theme song. Billy's,
oh yeah, that's right.
Every single hour, I'll have to call you back. I got to help these boys.
And I'm so glad that we went to that theme song. I like that.
Well, you're
theme
welcome.
Song. I did.
You're
I
welcome.
was very happy when we made that change.
You didn't like the other one I picked.
I didn't like the Guns N' Roses
You
song
didn't
because
like
I thought
that.
it made it sound like we were old farts.
Yeah.
But that I like.
And I tell you how that came about, Sean.
I'm just being honest.
I tell you how it came about. I'm a Rodney Crowell fan.
We are old farts. I know.
Sound like we're old farts.
I'm not.
Well,
He can be an old fart.
I'm
not an old fart.
I embrace it.
I tell you how that came about. I'm a Rodney Crowell fan, obviously being here in Texas, and I was listening through some of his new stuff, and I went, what? 56 Furies, the name of the song.
What I mean by old farts, like everybody knows a Guns N' Roses song. Like this is a little more peculiar, and I thought, well, that's fitting of the show a little bit better than Welcome to the Jungle.
Well,
which I've just heard way too many times. That's what it was. I've just heard it way too many times. But when you were listening to ZZ Top, and Christian, to your earlier point about what I was listening to in the 80s, like when you guys were listening to ZZ, I was listening to Love and Rockets.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, I've listened to ZZ my entire life,
right?
And so,
yeah, it's a great song.
And that's Billy on the guitar, and Billy singing with Rodney Crowell there, so.
It's a badass tune.
Oh, it's great.
I have a Rodney Crowell story I have to tell you.
So who does that sound like a little bit? When I heard it the very first time with Billy doing a dun 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 and Rodney singing the way he is.
Just trying to figure that out, and I don't know.
You don't know who it sounds like?
No.
Fabulous Thunderbirds.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hear the Thunderbirds in there?
Yeah.
Hear that? Hear the Thunderbirds? It's the first thing that hit me. Anyway, okay, that's enough of that. I'm in a mood to. You know what happens to me sometimes? I get so tired of talking about all the depressing stuff in the world, and a music story comes up. I'm like, music is my world.
Well,
and I can't do it.
If you can have Funky Friday, we can have a Rockin' Wednesday, right?
Well, Rockin' Wednesday. Well, you got to take a break from the news. I mean, I know we're talk show hosts, but there comes a point where it's like it just burns out my circuitry, man.
Right.
I go home and my wife wants to talk about the news. I'm like, baby, please give me 30 minutes.
Do you have a rule about that? Because
she knows, yeah.
Not just her, but like my crew, my friends.
Right.
They all know that, man. No, I don't talk this stuff because I talk this stuff all day, every day. And when they come over to the house and we're barbecuing, let's talk something. I don't care what it is. I don't care what else you want to talk about.
I never talk politics with friends, but the only person I talk news and politics with would be my wife.
Is your wife.
But she knows that I need a decompression period when I get home.
There you go. See?
There they are.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Hear it?
Another great song.
Oh. That's Jimmy Vaughn.
I would walk 10 miles on the mile, hands and knees. Ain't no doubt about it, baby, it's you I aim to please. I'm wrestle with the line.
Anyway, we're not supposed to be playing all this music. I got in trouble one time for doing that years ago. You played too much. You played too much.
Sound like a music station.
Yeah.
Right. People want to hear you
music.
talking. They want to hear you yapping.
That was a different guy. He doesn't work here anymore.
When people
I still do.
When people ask me about the politics and news stuff, I always say, let's get it out of the way. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, just ask me what you want to ask, and that's it.
And then we'll move on.
And this press
Yeah.
conference is over.
I say.
That's another fabulous Thunderbird song.
Is it?
Anyway, okay.
When people ask me if they want to talk about the news with me, I say, well, you got to cut me a check.
Well, you've heard me. How many times have you heard me say that about social media and Facebook? I will not. You've heard me say that all the time. I've been saying it for years. Number one thing is I do not wear any apparel with logos on it unless you pay me. I don't do it. I have no logo apparel. I have Harley Davidson, and that's the only one I have. And other than that, I don't go on Facebook and express my opinions about news or anything like that.
On Facebook
because Mark Zuckerberg ain't wrote me the first check. The only way I do it is our videos here,
right?
And that's because this company pays me. You want me to spill something out my mouth about politics? Write the check.
The only thing I do, and I've told everybody about this, I post the stories I want to talk about the next day on Facebook, just because it's an easier way for me to get to those stories. But then as soon as we get off the air, I delete them. I don't do any political commentary on Facebook at all.
No, they ain't paid you for it.
I don't scrap it up with people. I talk about my cats.
Zuckerberg's got the money, and he can certainly pay if he wants to, but he don't want to. So I can tell you about Evolve Medical Group.
Of our trouble spots, this report sponsored by Allstate. Picked up that road work 35 northbound 410 to O'Connor that is now reopened, and the wreck at 35 northbound Malone south side has cleared. 35 northbound Ben Zengelman, disabled vehicle right lane, and 35 northbound New Braunfels, stall left lane blocked. Wish you could save on home insurance. With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Texacare is healthcare coverage built by Texans for Texans. Texacare was created by seasoned healthcare professionals right here in Texas. It's a new health plan provider specifically focused on local businesses. Trust is in our DNA. Texacare is the health affiliate of Texas Mutual, who has been the leading workers' compensation insurance provider for Texas businesses for 30 years. Now, many businesses across the state have not been able to offer basic health coverage to employees. Texacare's goal is to provide a new healthcare option that is built with Texans in mind and is designed to be used, keeping employees healthier and more productive at work and for their families. Texacare's plans were developed after listening to Texas businesses and crafting benefits that work for them and their needs. Texacare plans are designed with the goal of making it easier for people and their families to stay healthy with benefits like 4 no copay visits per member per year for each primary care, urgent care specialists like cardiologists and dermatologists, mental health, physical therapy, and chiropractic providers. For more information, go to Texacare.com.
Don't miss the sizzling summer sale going on now at Crestview RV. Brand new travel trailers for just $250 a month with approved credit on select models and terms. Visit any Crestview RV location for all the hot details. Find a way to get away. CrestviewRV.com. Offers end August 30th. Restrictions apply.
Hi, this is Bob Webster from my friends over at Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. It's just quality is such a hard thing to find in the day's world. I mean, there are so many roofers around that, they're here one day, gone the next. Putting on those old shingle roofs that wear out after a few years or after the first hailstorm. Why not get the last roof you will ever put on your home? A beautiful roof from Southwest Metal Roofing Systems. I mean, the gap in price between metal and shingles has come way down. Southwest Metal Roofing System roofs are an amazing value, extremely well priced, best guarantee in the industry. They're going to save you money on your energy bill every month because they're so energy efficient. Plus, most homeowners insurance companies give you a discount because they know they're never going to have to replace that roof. Plus, it's a darn good looking roof. Lots of choices of color, lots of choices of looks, but all with the same great quality. Southwest Metal Roofing Systems, 822-6868 is the number. Give them a call for the best roof in the industry.
Think of your portfolio like a recipe. Every ingredient has a purpose, and too much of one thing can throw everything off. It's not much different when it comes to investments. A lot of investors aren't really building portfolios. They're just collecting investments over time. Different stocks, different funds, but no clear structure, no clear role for each piece. The result? A portfolio that may not perform the way you expect when conditions change. I'm Carl Eggers, and I work with clients to build portfolios that are intentional, balanced, and align with their goals. If yours feels scattered, it may be time to simplify. Visit creatingricherlives.com. That's creatingricherlives.com, or give me a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057. You hear me every Monday morning on the Trey Ware Show, and I look forward to talking to you.
Investment advisory services offered by Camp Financial Partners, LLC, an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940.
Need a new AC? Right Home Services has a complete install, up to 3 tons, for just $89.99. It's Martin Bomba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000.
Energy efficient windows from a local family-owned company. Call me, the window guy, at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588, or visit precisionwindowssa.com.
We're more than a radio station. We're your connection to San Antonio and the world. Live on air, streaming online, and on your favorite social platforms. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Jack and Jesse, Saturday 6 p.m., Sunday 3 p.m. Jack Riccardi, Jesse Salome on KTSA. It's 8:51. We are Ware and Rima.
Well, this is not a huge story, but it's one of those stories that is perfectly descriptive of liberal policies that are at least sold on the idea that we're doing this for you, to help you, and actually they're horrible for you. It's about replacement tires in California. Did you see that one? Mm-hmm. They passed a law in California because that's what California needs, are more laws, right? Mm-hmm. And this has to do with replacement tires, which driving old vehicles and used vehicles, like I always do, you need on occasion. It was a climate-based thing, and it's sold as a way to help people save money on their gas mileage.
You want a brief second from the commission head here?
Sure. Go ahead.
Just real fast, just a brief.
Absolutely.
Deregulate hair dryers, TVs, refrigerators, all kinds of appliances, right? And tires are really not much different.
So we do all this other regulation. We might as well do tires too. Mm-hmm.
And it's about these replacement tires. You know, your tire goes flat or your tire gets screwed up in your car. You want to go get a cheap tire and put it on your car. And many of the tires that people buy are inexpensive. I think I got this right. They're called low-rolling tires that they are going to force people to buy, which roll easier, and so you save money on gas, they're claiming.
They're supposedly low-friction tires.
Low-friction,
right.
Supposedly.
So that's not true, but that's
right.
But
that's how they sold it. And then, well, you'll save on your gas mileage in the long run with these tires.
Right.
Because they get better gas mileage because there's less friction on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what actually is going to happen is that you've eradicated about, I think, 70% of all the replacement tires that people would buy. Because, again, and you know this, if a tire goes out of my car and I want to go get the tire that the car came with, it's going to cost me more than if I go to Discount Tires and just get a tire that I can put on the car, right? And what they're saying is the cheaper tire that I would go get is the friction is worse. It rolls differently,
That's what they say.
and you end up using more gas. So we're going to make this choice for you.
That's what
But
they say.
again, what you've ended up doing is taking about 70% of all the tires that people buy on a regular basis as replacement tires. Not to mention, I assume that there's a lot of private dealerships out there, private tire shops that sell these things that they no longer can sell them. Point being, you have a law that was presented to people as, well, this will be good for you. Because liberal politicians love doing what they say is good for you, and there's your threat of socialism through this this particular law, and you end up hurting people because now people who are not going to be able to afford to buy the tires that are available, who would have gone to one of these places and got one of these cheap tires to solve a problem very quickly, are screwed.
So why won't they be able to afford the new tires? It's a law, a basic law of any free market or consumerism. It's called supply and demand. So what they're doing is they are shrinking the supply. In other words, they're cutting out choices. And so when they cut out choices and they say these 2 or 3 are your choices that you can buy, the prices go sky high. That's what government always does with regulations. They raise the price with regulations. So the way they sold it was, well, in about 3 months, you're going to find that over 3 months, you've saved $73. Now, the tire goes from $200 to $500, so you got $300 more in it, but you're going to save $73. This is the ridiculous nature of this. And the bottom line is, here's what you're going to love, and I know a lot about tires. Here's what you're going to love. There's only a couple of tire manufacturers. That's it. So when you buy a Goodyear, okay, you're buying that name on the side of the tire, but you can get that same tire with General on the side of it. Same tire. You're just not getting Goodyear on the side. You got General on the side of it. It's the same dang tire.
It's rubber. It's round.
That's what. Well,
it does the job.
Now you can get different. There are different grades of tires and all. Yeah, all that stuff. And tires are really expensive right now on new late model vehicles. There's no doubt about that.
Isn't rubber itself more expensive?
Yes,
right
sir.
now?
It is. It is extremely everything that's connected with petroleum right now is super high. So yeah, you're going to pay more for tires right now. But you're also, when they start putting those on the road, the 405 and all I-10 and everywhere else out there is going to be covered with the same crapola we went through here with retreads and these big 18-wheelers.
What's that?
Those coming apart. Tires that
oh.
come apart and they start flying everywhere, and the next thing you know, you got a crash over here, you got a parked car in the middle of the highway over there. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard, and that's why when I say California opens up the exits every day and shoves people out, that's exactly one of those things.
That was my thought. Well, this is another reason why people are, ditching California, because of crap like this. But again, if you want the whole country to be California, keep voting for the DSA, because that's what you're going to get. And
that's
worse.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
And worse if they're running the whole show.
Right. So California is already a mess. It's going to get messier now because they're going to have junky old tires flying apart and leaving. You see them out here sometimes because the retreads come off the 18-wheelers and they're laying on 410 or on 35.
Right.
More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
Hey, it's Sean. I love talking about my friends at John Wayne Service Company. This is a great year to talk to them. Whether you're having an issue with your HVAC, your plumbing, or your electrical, it's one company for the whole house. And now John Wayne is offering their service call for all for only $29. That's a $29 service call that'll cover one system, two systems, or all three. It's your choice. It's a simple, low-cost way to get a professional look and clear direction before you spend more money. They aim to give you straight answers and clear options with no pressure, and they offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. But again, it's that time of year for John Wayne's Service Call for All for only $29. Service Call can cover one system, two systems, or all three. It's your choice. Call or text my friends at John Wayne Service Company today, 210-293-6700 to schedule your $29 Service Call for All. Or check them out online, johnwayne.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
KTSA. It's 9 o'clock at KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. It's looking like prison sentence of up to 5 years for a former associate of Dr. Anthony Fauci. Former senior advisor Dr. David Morenz has pled guilty to defrauding the federal government. He was accused of destroying records and data related to the origins of COVID-19. This comes after Dr. Fauci was given a blanket pardon by former President Joe Biden in the closing hours of his time in the White House. But despite that pardon, Fauci would not answer a single question during a Senate hearing on COVID-19 in late July. An SUV connected to a fatal shooting early Tuesday morning is now in the hands of police.
And investigators say the black Toyota 4Runner was stolen before 3 suspects drove it to the Woodhill apartment complex on the northwest side. San Antonio police say the suspects fired several shots from multiple weapons during the attack. 2 18-year-olds were hit while they were inside a unit. One of them died at a local hospital. The other is expected to survive. There's no word on a motive for the shooting and no description of those responsible. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
The Data Center Coalition's vowing to follow Texas guidelines on all future data center projects around the state. Governor Abbott made the announcement Tuesday, and it means the sector's membership group will stay in line with state regulations. Data centers have become a hot topic as of late. Many communities are concerned about how these operations will affect property values and natural resources. The Public Utilities Commission of Texas and the Electric Reliability Council of Texas will be involved in gauging compliance. If a given data center project can't comply with Texas standards, it'll have to go somewhere else. A documentary about Jimi Hendrix's performance at Woodstock is making its streaming debut.
Jimi Hendrix live at Woodstock, a second look, debuted Tuesday night on YouTube. It features black and white footage recorded on videotape by a 22-year-old Bard College student named Albert Goodman. According to the YouTube description, Goodman snuck his camera on stage and set it up just 15 feet from where Hendrix would perform. The film features performances of Purple Haze, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, and The Star-Spangled Banner. I'm Mark Mayfield.
KTSA News Time, 9:02.
Good morning. Starting to clear a lot of our trouble. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. That road work at northbound 35, Loop 410 to O'Connor has cleared. Still left behind a little bit of a slow residual delay. 35 northbound Malone, that wreck is cleared. Now, if your travels are taking you into San Marcos, Comal County, 35 northbound Center Point, getting reports of some debris in the roadway, right lane. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, save big. No retail store markups. Just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny to partly cloudy, very hot with more triple-digit heat today, the high of 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy. The low 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Triple-digit heat again Thursday. Clouds with limited sun, the high of 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now it's 78 degrees and sunny, but the heat index is 91 at San Antonio's severe weather station. Christian Blood, stay connected. News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550, KTSA.
Here we go. I'm going to do some bits and pieces here because I got several little stories I want to run through, and one of them has to do with Keith Ellison, who is the grand imam of Minneapolis, or at least he thinks so in his own head. He was in the United States Congress for a short, wee little bit, and he's a wee little man too, by the way. And then he realized, hey, man, I could go to Minneapolis. I could scam the system up there. And he and Tim Walz went into business together up there, and they've been doing whatever that they've been doing for several years. Anyway, as the AG, he is suing Greg Abbott now because he wanted this guy, this ICE agent, extradited up to Minneapolis because the ICE agent shot a guy in Minneapolis. He's here in Texas now. He shot a guy who was trying to hit him with a shovel. Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but I know how I feel about it. If I'm an agent of the law and you're trying to kill me with a shovel, I'm going to kill you first. Now, he didn't kill the guy. The guy's still alive.
Right.
But he did shoot him, and so Keith Ellison wants to prosecute the ICE agent for shooting the guy for coming at him with a shovel.
Of course.
So, and Greg Abbott has not yet, extradited the ICE agent up to Minneapolis to face these charges. So now Keith Ellison is suing Greg Abbott, and this was the governor's response yesterday to this.
I don't trust Tim Walz on anything, let alone something like this. But listen, while they're making demands, I got a demand of my own, and that is it's time for Minnesota to step up and repay the United States of America and Americans for all the fraud that they've committed in the state.
Fraud card.
And I will not respond to them at all until they step up and do what's right, and they acknowledge their fault in the fraud that took place, and they fully repay the United States of America for the fraud they committed.
Because it wasn't just Minnesota's money that they stole, okay? It was ours, too. That was federal U.S. of A dollars that I put my butt in this room, and you put it in here, too, every day so that they can steal it from us and then give it to a bunch of Somalians so they can buy votes. To hell with you. You ain't getting no ICE agent from the state of Texas. Come and get him. Try that one on. Come and get him. Come and take him.
That's when Greg Abbott's a real badass, man. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, let's talk. Anything out of Minneapolis, anything out of Minnesota, all you have to do is say the F word, fraud, and you shut down. Which is...
It's a short conversation.
Well, it is, you know, because what do you say to that? Billions of freaking dollars?
Yeah.
We don't even know.
What the governor needs to do is stand there with the Gadsden flag and say, come and take him.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Come and take him. That's all you got to do. Come on. Come get him. If you feel that strongly, like you could come get him, come and take him. Now, another story I want to get to here is what's going on with the WNBA.
Oh, God.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because now it's very cool. Look at this. Elaine, it's a sports story for you. This is on my X account at Trey Ware Show. Now guys are showing up in drag with basketballs at WNBA games wanting to play. Hey, let me in, coach. I'm here.
Oh,
you're inclusive, right?
Sophie Cunningham had the game of all ages last night. She was better than Caitlin Clark.
I didn't see it, but I read about it. I heard it was really good, right? How'd it go? I mean,
well, let me tell you. She, first of all, got fouled, and when she took the ball to shoot the free throw, the crowd was booing her because that's the cool thing to do right now in this whole roller derby world. Boo! It's, it's wrestling. Boo! Something. And, man, she slammed it. And then got the ball back immediately because it was a one free throw shot.
Okay.
But when the other team fielded it, they intercepted it, and she got it, and she just sunk this three-pointer.
Intercepted? I thought that was football.
You do it in basketball too, Elaine.
Yeah, you can in basketball. You can intercept the ball too, yeah.
Yep.
And so they intercepted it, and she got the ball, and three-pointer, bang, bang! There it was, man. And the crowd tried to boo her again, and she's like, ha! And she runs down the field, and then once again gets the ball and goes back down. Caitlin Clark took it. Caitlin Clark hit the paint. And then looked out there, and Sophie's all by herself in the corner.
Really?
And it was Sean Elliott all over again. Remember Sean Elliott?
Yeah.
Remember Sean Elliott in the corner? Everybody remember that? Huh? And she tosses it out there, and Sophie went, bang! Three-pointer from the corner.
Sean Elliott used to do that at the U of A.
Huh?
Sean Elliott used to do that at the U of A.
Well, he did it here, and that's how we got into the playoffs. We
Did
made it in
Sophie
playoffs one
point to the crowd?
Did she do a point?
You know, she doesn't do all that much because she doesn't believe in taunting. And they asked her about it after in the post game interview. They said, "Well, what about the booze?" And she said, "What booze? I have no idea." She said, "I'm glad people were here. I'm glad the crowd was into it.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
wow.
in any sport, you're going to get cheers and you're going to get booze both. And I'm glad to get both of them. So man, let's just rock and roll and have a good time."
That at NBA games.
She's just having a good time.
Wow.
That's all. Having a
Well,
good
I
time.
mean, look, if you in her case, okay, I would take the booze as a compliment.
Sure, right. She's
know what I
cool
mean?
with it, man. She's
Like, hey, man.
You know what she's just
as long as the right people are booing you, it's a compliment.
She's enjoying life.
Yeah, she's
And that's
having a
all-
great time.
She's having a great time.
Good on her.
Now, you two did not mention this at all during the entire month of August, and you kind of let
Elaine and me.
Yeah,
We're still in the month of August.
This happened, huh?
We're still in the month of
That's what I was
August.
just about to say. Is we're not done with August yet, but before we finish August, I wanted a commentary from you guys, and you're kind of letting the show down, both of you.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You really are. It's kind of a
Christian.
disappointment because you have not talked about August being National Breastfeeding Month. And
What the hell would I be talking about breastfeeding?
Y'all talk about it being gross and all that stuff all the time. The two of
What?
y'all, every year y'all
What are you
talk about
talking about? Breastfeeding being gross? What do you mean?
Every year, you and Elaine talk about breastfeeding and breastfeeding in public and all that.
I don't like it.
You can
when it's in
act that way if
public.
you want, but y'all have these topics. Y'all talk about it all the time.
Now, I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Okay, all right. So in Maine, they put up the National Breastfeeding Board in Maine. Put
you're
up
teasing
this.
us. You're taunting us.
No, I'm giving you. This is the truth. It's National Breastfeeding Month for every family. We're proud to celebrate and uplift trans lactation.
Oh, God.
Chest feeding, which is where that's what Pete Buttigieg did with the fake nipple.
Fake boob, yeah, right.
And two-spirit families during National Breastfeeding Month. Every family deserves affirming, respectful, and evidence-based care. Creating inclusive spaces means recognizing that parents use different words to describe their feeding journeys, like translactation, and honoring each.
Translactation?
Translactation.
What they do is they don't for Pete Booty.
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
they
fake
just
nipple.
put a bottle through a
They
little
did.
boob
They did
surface
that.
that
It's
looked
a
like
it's a
and it looks like
sling.
a little
It's-
nipple
it's
hanging
a
out.
sling that
The
you wear
nipple.
over your shoulder, like when you
Right.
when a guy's got a sling with a busted arm. It's a
Right.
sling that goes across your chest,
Sling
and then a nipple comes
with a
out.
nipple.
It's got it's fake nipple. That's what he does or did. I don't know if he
Right.
still
And
does
they
or
can
not.
pick chocolate milk, strawberry milk,
Oh, my God.
So this
they
is
got-
kind of like
Nestle Quick.
this is kind of like one of those helmets that has the beer mugs and then the straw wraps into your mouth, but just lower and it's milk.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much, yeah.
Trans people or whatever.
And then it
So you're
wraps.
going to have Nestle Quick coming out of that thing if you wanted to.
Oh, God.
Strawberry milk, chocolate milk.
The little rabbit.
Everything.
So here's how it wraps up. Milk makes families, and every family belongs.
Okay. let me comment here. Here, let me comment. Hold on,
Translactation.
I know it's swear and blood, but hang on a second. Let me comment on this one, okay? The breastfeeding in public thing never bothered me. It's just when people do it in places to, in a sense, be noticed. I mentioned years ago, I went to a very popular hamburger place that has a very popular like fixings bar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
And there was a woman like right there
Whip
at
it
the
out?
fixings bar with the boob out, and it's like, it's not that I'm against public breastfeeding. It's just, situationally, you're not always being oppressed if people don't want you to breastfeed right next to where the honey mustard is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Unless it's
all I say about
all
that.
you can eat buffet.
Right. There's ways to go about that. Yeah, that's all. Like, I think everybody has a little bit of a responsibility to, be situationally aware. It's not saying there's anything wrong with breastfeeding or breastfeeding is evil and awful.
That's what we've always agreed upon.
But what I hate about the trans trip where dudes get to pretend like they're women. I was thinking about this the other day, okay? And I'm not gonna tie it to the Lindsay Clancy story directly, but I was thinking about postpartum depression. It's a real thing. Women experience it. What?
I'm just thinking about what you're thinking about.
Well, what I mean is, like, guys who say that because I am now a woman, I have cycles and I know what it's like to go through that, and I'm going through postpartum depression. Like, women are very complex biologically, and, it's a lot different to be a woman than it is to be a man. And so when dudes just claim they are women, okay, you're really, 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 really not. And you're really, really not living like a biological woman who has all kinds of other considerations and things that they have to live with.
And you never will.
And you never will.
You can cut off whatever you want to cut off.
That, to me, is insulting to women's reality.
Right.
The thing is,
you can have all the cosmetic surgery you want to have.
Right.
And you're not going to be the opposite
you're
sex.
not going to have a menstrual cycle.
No, you're not. You're just not.
And
you know what I mean?
And you're not going to feel down after somebody has a baby like a woman does.
Postpartum depression.
It is
yes.
totally real. It is bad.
Absolutely.
It is as bad as depression gets when a woman goes through that. And so that's never going to happen to you. There is a major difference between XX and XY.
Yeah.
I agree with Caitlyn Jenner on this one that, that's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
I was watching him again today. That's Bruce. Will always be Bruce Jenner to me because I remember the golds, and I remember him commenting on the Indy 500.
Right.
It will always be. I was watching him in the middle of the night because he was back on Trace's show last night, and he realizes he's not a girl. He said, "I have had gender dysphoria all of my life, but you know what? I'm glad I came to it when I was 65. That I waited until I was 65." Because I wouldn't have I got 10 kids. I got 27 grandchildren. Wow. I would not have had all of that life experience but I've felt this way my entire life. But I'm glad I didn't change and transition until I was 65 because I've got all that other life experience. And guys, he said, I'm not a girl.
Right.
I'm not. I live as a woman. I'm living as one, but I'm not one.
Remember when trannies were cool and they just wore the dresses? You know what I mean? And it wasn't about, I actually am the opposite gender. That's a relatively new development over the past 10 years.
And, Sean, what I've always said about this is, if you're trying to tell people that you're actually the opposite gender and you want me to believe that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to believe it. You can live that way if you want, like he's doing, like Bruce Jenner's doing. I don't care if you live that way. But don't expect me to then say you're a girl, and especially don't expect me to say now you can lactate. I can guarantee you Bruce Jenner's not lactating. Caitlyn Jenner is not lactating.
It's an absurd thought. I mean,
right?
I have a trans friend. I said, I'm sorry, I don't do the pronouns. I'm sorry if you're going to be offended by that, but you're not a multiple. You're not a they. You're not a them. You're not a her. I don't. Because once you get into that territory, once you start accepting this idea that if you say you're the opposite gender, you actually are, you say it all the time, you're asking me to participate in a lie.
I'm not going to.
And as a lifestyle, you be happy. You live however you want to live. You want to live as the opposite gender, that makes you happy, you go ahead. But as soon as you start demanding things of me as far as what I agree to believe in or not,
what I've always said.
Like
then
fake
you're doing
breastfeeding?
like fake. You're not lactating for Christ.
That's what
out loud.
That's what I've always
My God,
said.
yes.
You can believe that if you want. I don't care if in your own head you believe it. I don't care what you believe, but don't expect me to, what I've always said, assent to your lie. I'm not going to. And so live your life the way you want to. And I'm certainly not going to say, now you are lactating, which is what they're saying in Maine. You can't. Guys, I don't care what you do. You can take as much estrogen as you want. And you may, this is late in the morning, so the kids are in school. You may get a little moisture, okay? It's called prolactin. You may get, if you take enough estrogen as a male, that can happen to you. But it ain't mother's milk, and it never will be. Full stop.
Yeah, and stay out of the OBGYN offices, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Guys are like going to women doctors, and it's like, just stop, man.
Well, we had a full-on here, let's not say the name, but we had a full-on transitioned here.
Right.
That means cosmetically everything downstairs changed as well, right? But at that point, there's really no reason to go to an OBGYN because the plumbing ain't there.
It's just not.
They have turned it around, and it's inside the body now, okay? But the plumbing doesn't exist. That would give you a reason to have to go to the doctor.
And there's no reason you need tampons and
No.
You're
not.
restroom.
There's not going to be a flow or none of that.
And I know
It's not
we're
gonna
getting low on time, but I think the whole point of the new configuration of trans stuff is that you create an absurdity And the moment people don't agree with it, you can point your finger and say, "See, you're phobic, or you hate people."
See,
that's
Sean,
what it's about.
You've called this the Orwellian nightmare.
It is,
and that's what it is.
But that's exactly why they do it, though, Sean, is so that they have another thing that they can beat people up
Absolutely.
about. That's the reason it exists, is so that they can now say, like you just said, "You're so mean, you're so awful, you're so hateful," and I don't hate it. I don't hate you, man. You want to live like that, and if you want to have your penis removed, get on with it. If that's what you want to do. But don't tell me that I have to believe it.
Yeah,
we got to go.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my friends over at Amagi Bank. They are the best.
We are in good shape. We've cleared a lot of trouble. That road work at 35 northbound 410 to O'Connor has reopened. We do have some sluggish conditions along 35 northbound Rittman to 410. 35 northbound Center Point. This is in Comal County. If your travels are taking you into San Marcos this midday, we're getting reports of some debris in the roadway. It is taking up a right lane. 75 northbound at Center Point. Just now coming in, an accident, 1604 eastbound Boulevardy Road. Left lane, 17-minute delay. Stop and go from Gold Canyon. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
The biggest interviews, the hottest topics, the local stories that matter most.
At the beginning of every hour, they give me a news update.
San Antonio's conservative superstation. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
San Antonio homeowners, Safe Showers and Bath Wise are now new bath today. Get a free quote on your bathroom remodel and lock in today's price for up to 1 year. Plus, for a limited time, you can save $1,500 with no interest for 24 months. Visit newbathtoday.com to schedule your free quote.
If your transmission is acting up, Access Transmission on Thousand Oaks is the only place you need to go to get it repaired or replaced. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Access Transmission has been the trusted transmission experts in the San Antonio area for over 50 years. Family owned and operated, Access Transmission can handle all your transmission needs, domestic and import. All estimates are free. There are no inspection or diagnostic fees like the big national chains. Shop local and take your vehicle to Access Transmission, where you can get a fair, honest, and free diagnosis of your transmission issue. They can repair or rebuild your transmission with their in-house rebuilders. Serving San Antonio and the Hill Country, Access Transmission offers free pickup and delivery. And yes, that does include the Hill Country. Located on Thousand Oaks between Jones-Maltzberger and Wetmore Road, call Access Transmission 210-490-4411. 490-4411. Access Transmission, the experts in transmission repair.
Still using the I got a guy approach for your digital marketing? Relying on one person in today's rapidly shifting online landscape is costing you more in lost opportunities. You need the deep bench expertise of Conrex Digital. We provide more than just a presence. We deliver results. From high converting websites and SEO to engaging social content and lead generation on Google and Meta, we handle it all. Dominate your competition with expert programmatic and streaming TV campaigns. Bold marketing, real results. Visit conrexdigital.com. Conrex Digital makes it happen.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You save all that money for retirement, and now you're watching the market like a hawk.
They freak out
sell, go into cash, and say, well, when this is all over, I'll get back in. What we're really talking about here is market timing. The blink of an eye, 7 years is gone, and what have you lost?
Helping you with markets, taxes, and common sense retirement advice. Jay Kirkwood and Clear Skies Retirement. Sundays at noon, right here on KTSA.
Texas Gun Shows brings you the largest gun shows, and this weekend they're in Buda, Texas at the CTX Fieldhouse. Open this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 and 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the CTX Fieldhouse this Saturday and Sunday, 2610 Main Street.
At the Law Office of Sean C. Brown, we've been representing clients for over 25 years. This is Sean Brown. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call me today at 210-224-8200 or visit SeanBrownLaw.com. That's SeanBrownLaw.com.
I became really good at hiding my teeth.
Not smiling. I had cavities. I had teeth breaking every time I'd eat something hard. It was really rough.
You get to a breaking point. I didn't realize I was doing it anymore. That's why I chose Doctor's Implants, led by Dr. Andrew Mueller.
I wanted to feel like myself again.
Missing or failing teeth don't have to define your life. Full mouth dental implants from Doctor's Implants are a permanent solution that lets you eat the food you love, smile confidently in every photo, and leave behind the endless cycle of root canals, crowns, and temporary fixes.
I looked in the mirrors and I thought, oh my, who is this woman? My heart just leaped with joy.
My wife immediately loved it. I think I smiled for like 2 days straight because it looked that good.
Schedule your no-cost medical evaluation today.
And be done with dentist.
Call now, 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Ware and Rima, KTSA. Don't forget, Saturday, 6 p.m., Sunday, 3 p.m., Jack and Jesse Salome on KTSA. Go right ahead.
Trey, I know we were talking about Jacob Smith a few days ago going over to the Tallarico campaign from John Cornyn's staff. But, Trey, okay, this isn't an authoritarian state. We don't tell people what to believe. So, if he wants to go bebop over to Tallarico's campaign, he can do that of his own free will. And, by you guys criticizing this and saying it says something about John Cornyn, you want an authoritarian state to be in existence.
So, John, let me ask you, John, as you're saying this to me, let me ask you, why was he on your staff?
Why was he?
If he so easily fits into the Tallarico campaign, and why was he your John Cornyn, legislative director? That's the key to this. That's why I emphasized that yesterday when I brought it up. He was the legislative director for John Cornyn. That's the guy who coordinates the laws, the bills that he generates.
Yeah, he wasn't a guy just picking up bottled water for the staff.
This
is a guy who's organizing legislative schedules. I mean, come on, man.
That's John.
That tells me more about Cornyn than anything.
That's what I said
exactly
yesterday.
What you said yesterday.
That's
I'm validating. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm validating it because you cannot tell me John Cornyn is a true conservative when this guy was working for him. And he just woke up in the middle of the night and said, you know what, Tallarico's my guy. I really like what he wants to do. It doesn't make any logical sense.
Like I've always said, they play for the same team. They just put on a different colored jersey when they come out in front of the fans. That's all they do.
The guy could have at least put on a fake mustache, you know what I mean? And called himself
Charlie.
No, called himself Dan Sullivan. I don't know, just done something. But, that's a hard turn, man. Don't tell me that he wasn't that working for Cornyn. I don't buy it.
Of course, he was a lefty.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Remember, he wrote gun control legislation.
Yes,
That's
he
where
did.
it came from.
Yes,
These guys inside the Cornyn world. And so John said, I will back whoever the nominee is for the Republicans. He hadn't backed Paxton yet. Come on, John.
And his legislative guy is going over to work on Tallarico's campaign.
And he's defending the move. Instead of criticizing
If you have an issue with that, you're an authoritarian. Oh, shut up,
Instead
man.
of criticizing and saying, why are you going over there?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
It's bullcrap.
Stevens Roofing, the roof over your head. Protect it during these hot days.
4:15.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Folks, whether your home is brand new or decades old, your water could be causing damage that you don't even see. Trey Ware here, and you know hard Texas water can leave mineral buildup in your pipes, shorten the life of appliances, and affect everything from your skin to the way your water tastes. That's why I recommend Alamo Water Softeners and the Townsend family. I've seen firsthand their professionalism, like the quality of the installation and the way they take care of their customers too. And not all water softeners are created equal. But I know this. I was their first customer in 2009. Alamo Water Softeners installs premium water care systems that are designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA and specifically built for tough Texas water. These are top-of-the-line systems backed by excellent warranties and local service you can trust. Right now, Alamo Water Softener is offering their new all-in-one home bundle. It includes a premium water care water softener, reverse osmosis drinking water system, leak detection protection, and even a water heater. Plus, qualified homeowners can get 36 months 0% financing with one affordable monthly payment for a limited time. Call Alamo Water Softeners today or schedule your free water analysis online at alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They'll help me get the skills and certifications that can get me noticed by top employers in months, not years. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My brother served. I wanted to help. I just didn't know where to start. Safeguard Veterans connected us with support that understood military life.
Support for veterans, families, and caregivers in community. Visit safeguardveterans.net and click on your city. Safeguard Veterans. Any door, the right support.
Stop living with floors you hate. At Pride Floors, we bring your home to life with the latest hardwood floors, luxury vinyl planks, and carpet. Expert installation built to last. Visit our showroom today or our website at pridefloors.com. My name is Richard Cavazos at Pride Floors.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
It might be 5 years in prison for a former senior advisor of Dr. Anthony Fauci. We're going to find out why at 10 o'clock. Minnesota is suing Texas because an ICE agent accused of shooting an illegal alien is not being extradited to face charges. Governor Abbott says he'll think about that after Minnesota repays the money stolen in multiple fraud cases in the state. And the Texas rock band ZZ Top is down to just one of its core members, drummer Frank Beard, dead at the age of 77. KTSA News Time 9:34.
Good morning. Still working that trouble spot on 1604. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. 1604 eastbound Bulverde Road, wreck left lane. A little bit of stop and go from Gold Canyon. 35 northbound Riddiman to 410. That's road work. It's going to take you about 20 minutes to get through. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Triple-digit heat continues straight through the weekend. Sunny to partly cloudy today with the high of 101. A steady breeze this evening, otherwise clear to partly cloudy. 79 along the Riverwalk and 72 in the Hill Country. Very hot again Thursday. Clouds and limited sun, the high up to 103. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterino with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
We're up to 80 degrees, a heat index 94, San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 107.1.
9:36 KTSA. We're Ware and Rima. I don't harp on anybody for their life choices. I'm saying this for a reason. I don't harp on anybody for their life choices.
Okay.
It doesn't work if you did, right? So in fact, it does. Many times it has the direct opposite. Plus, I have my own stupid life choices that people could harp on me about. I have found that if you want me to do something more, harp on me about it. And if you want me to stop doing it, just leave me alone about it and just support me.
You and I have that in common.
Yeah, support me, and I'll walk away from it. So that's kind of the thing. So when I talk about smoking, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying that up front. I'm not talking about Jimmy either.
I hate it. I want to stop.
No, I know. Yeah. So, but this is not it's you guys. But the whole Frank Beard thing, he always had. Now, I don't know we don't know what he died from, but he always had an ashtray next to him on his drum kit. With a filterless cigarette going. Yep. I never saw him play without one there, man. Just puffing away. So, and I'm not saying it's throwing shade on. Again,
no,
okay,
I got you.
This is not personal.
No,
this
I know
is not
that.
personal. It has nothing to do with
that.
you.
No
okay,
worries.
But I had two parents that died from it, and so both my parents died from smoking way too much. My mom died at 63, which I'm going to be in October. So very young age,
I hate it. I mean, I'm at the point where every time I light one up, I'm like, well, there's a day off your life. I mean, I really do hate it. It's not. Yeah. I will say this. I've had multiple addictions over the course of my life. I've written books about them. And I can honestly tell you that the most difficult addiction I have ever faced is cigarettes. And that includes opioids, that includes alcohol, all of it.
There was a guy who worked here. He was our assistant engineer. And this guy, he was amazing. He used to produce records for Kiss and Diana Ross and all these people. He worked at the Sound Factory in New York, Sound Factory. John, and loved. He was Englishman. He was great friends with Paul Young, all those English artists.
Oh, wow.
He knew the Rolling Stones.
I love Paul Young.
Yeah. So anyway, John was his name, and he was our assistant engineer. And he told me he finally did kick him. He was able to get behind him, but he said it's harder than heroin. This is the hardest thing you'll ever deal with is trying to put cigarettes down.
I was kind of following the Hayden Panettiere story, and there's testimony where witnesses are saying that there was Narcan in the house, and but more than likely nothing has been established. It was an opioid thing, which I know something about, and that's a toughie. I mean, I'm the first to say that is a real tough addiction.
Which one?
Opioid.
Yeah.
But cigarettes, the nicotine, and I don't. It's physical. But it's also mental, psychological, emotional. It is an extremely hard addiction to get around.
You've tried quitting a couple of times.
I have, and I've made it maybe about 3 or 4 days. I about 3 months ago when before I went to the heart doctor. After I went to the heart doctor, I stopped for about a week.
Yeah.
And just slid right back into it.
My dad, when the doctor told him the grandkids were coming along, and the doctor told him, "You're not going to see your grandkids grow up.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen." And he said, and he had strong willpower, and he finally went, "That's it. I'm done." He didn't even do gum. He did gum for about 2 days, threw the gum away. And Mom was still smoking at the time. And they say that's really hard if you're a couple and you're around in the house, because they smoked in the house. You're in the house with your other couple smoking. He went home and he said, "Mama, if you want to keep smoking, that's fine. It's not going to change." And she did for about 4 months, and then she quit because he had quit.
Well, that's the other thing I'll say about addiction. You cannot quit anything until you inside yourself absolutely decide you're done.
Yeah. That's
you cannot quit anything until you reach that point.
Yeah. It takes people from the outside. It takes a lot of love and it takes a lot of support, and not the harping part, because I learned a long time ago, you harp on people about something, it's the worst thing you can possibly do. Now, you can be there to support them.
Oh, sure.
And give them information and love them through it. But if you need to put those things down.
My dad and my mom was contentious. I mean, my mom had a personality, and she would nag my old man, and he would say to her, he would say, "Iris, that's not helping.
Yeah.
You're not helping me quit with the nagging. It really doesn't help at all."
As you just said a second ago, I find this over and over again, you have to decide for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm done.
That's
the only way to do it.
Anything, but especially cigarettes. But until you reach that point, you ain't quitting nothing.
And there's also another good idea is to have something to replace it with.
Have a strategy.
Preferably not a poor vice, maybe a workout or something along those lines that would be more beneficial to you. Drinkers say this a lot. when they finally put it down, you can speak to this, when you finally put it down and you walk away from it, you feel so much better that you could look back and go, how did I ever do that?
That's right.
Well, why did I ever do that? I feel so much better.
Now, it does depend on physical addiction as opposed to emotional. Like, when I quit drinking, I had no physical addiction to it. So I just put it down, and that was it. I didn't like my body. I didn't
explain
shiver.
the difference between the two.
Chronic physical alcohol. We talk about this with the sheriff's department, and when chronic alcoholics are put in a cage, and they go for a few hours, and they go into a cardiac arrest. That's
How do people know the
physical,
difference between those two?
You really can't. It's person to person. Like, my brother would shake when he wouldn't drink. I never had that. So for me, when I stopped, I stopped. When they had to taper me off the pain meds when I was in the hospital, now that was physical. I went through 2 days of physical withdrawal because a prescription had run out, and it was the worst experience of my life. And that was my first real experience with physical addiction.
What did they give you to deal with that? Like, I know they got medication for
no, you
drunks.
don't. I mean, you taper.
Like microdose, right?
Oh,
well, no. They just my wife had the for like a month. I'd half it until you just gradually are off.
Tartrate off.
Now with fentanyl and I guess what I'd call illicit opioid. I wasn't that guy, but with illicit opioid abuse, like maybe with Hayden Panettiere might have been involved. Naloxone and Narcan. Naloxone is usually the go-to to help people get away from that.
If she was a part of that at all, I mean, they're really her mom is like, look at the boyfriend.
That's what she said.
Look at the boyfriend, and I know I have personal experience with that one. Look at the boyfriend.
They had split up, and now they got back together.
Well, he was according to people who knew her. Okay, I have to lay it on that. He was a go-to, he was just always there. And do you remember what's her name? Rehab.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse always had Blake.
Yeah.
That guy.
Blake.
Yeah.
And she would leave him and go on to get her life straightened out, and she'd come back to Blake, and then she was screwed up again, and then she'd leave him and go get. And what killed her was what you're talking about.
Alcohol withdrawal.
She quit drinking.
Really?
And then she went on a 3-day bender, and she was out like a light. It was too much.
She went the opposite.
She went the opposite way because she had quit and gotten away from it and came back. And for like 3 days, she just kept going, and it was poisoning, alcohol poisoning.
That's peculiar to alcoholism.
Wasn't she using other drugs too, though, or no?
I think it was mostly alcohol.
She had done heroin,
speed. I think something like
speed, and coke, but she had gotten emphysema at 27 as well.
Yeah, but with that chronic alcohol, it's peculiar to alcoholism. I found that when you stop and then relapse, go back into it, you tend to go back harder than when you stopped. So, like, if you're drinking, a gallon of wine a day and you quit for 6 months and then you start drinking again, well, you're drinking 2 gallons. You just, for some reason, alcoholism, it doubles up when you come back.
I'm trying to remember, but I think that's what happened to George Michael, too.
Yeah.
I believe that's something in the same vein.
That's why when the Brad Pitt story came out, I was like, buddy,
You got to be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
Well, and again, we have no idea what happened to Frank, but I never saw him without that ashtray and filter. My dad always smoked filterless cigarettes too, and if he had to have a filter one with a filter on, he'd take the filter
Bite it off.
Oh, that's hardcore. Yeah.
I had a friend who did that. I know I couldn't do that when I smoked.
We had one of our buddies' dads that I used to party with when I was like 19 or 20. He smoked unfiltered Camels, and we'd all run out of cigarettes.
Yep.
And Lee would go grab a pack of his old man smoke, so we had to smoke that. It's like smoking a turd, man. It's like
my dad's was Camels.
And you know what that's like.
And the Red Pall Malls.
Yeah, that's heavy smoking.
My mom was Terratons, which had the double filter Terraton, which was take all the charcoal out or whatever.
Yeah.
But if he ran out, he'd rip the filter off one of hers.
Those long, skinny.
Slims, Virginia Slims, yeah. My mom never did those.
Those are girl cigarettes.
Yeah.
Those are girly cigarettes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's one of those things. Addiction is rough, man. If you have it, and it's one of those things that eventually just catches up to you.
Addiction is slavery.
Yeah, of course it
is. Addiction is you are enslaved to something.
But to a certain degree, everybody's addicted to something.
Well, you can be addicted to anything.
I'm just saying.
Shopping, you can be addicted to shopping. You can be addicted to anything.
And I'm seeing his face in my mind right now, but I'm not going to call his name. He's addicted to working out. I'm not kidding
No,
you.
I know. I believe
this
you.
guy works out all day, every day, and every free moment, even on Christmas. He's working out. That's how he's addicted to. It's a physical because of endorphins, because of dopamine and all the stuff you get from a workout. You can be addicted to something that's healthy for you and do too much of that.
Yes, you can be.
So,
absolutely.
You can be addicted to peanut butter, and I kind of know what that's like.
I'd rather be addicted to peanut butter than cigarettes. Absolutely.
Why don't you roll that up and smoke it?
I should.
See what happens.
You can get the crunchy kind.
That's right.
That's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Without filters.
Hey, let's do some crunchy peanut butter. Come on. I'm buying, man.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Friends over at Bjorn's, just Bjorn's, are ready to see.
Sponsored by Blindster.com. 1604 eastbound Bulverde Road, wreck left lane. A little bit of stop and go from Gold Canyon. 35 northbound Riddiman to 410. That's road work. It's going to take you about 20 minutes to get through. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Thanks, Deb. I got to tell you about my friends over at Wealth Watch Advisors. So let me ask you this. If the market took a sharp downturn tomorrow, how's your retirement going to do? Is it still going to be on track? Are you diversified enough? Well, the good news is your retirement strategy doesn't have to depend on just one part of the market. For qualified investors, opportunities beyond traditional stocks and bonds such as data centers, energy infrastructure, select digital asset strategies. I'm just coming up with some stuff here that I think about a lot, and I do myself, my own investing, could add diversification to an overall retirement plan. And at Wealth Watch Advisors, they help you with all that. They help you determine whether these alternative strategies fit your goals while coordinating your retirement income, your investments, your tax planning, estate planning. One personalized strategy for you. I think, to put it best, my own personal experience is I don't have all my eggs in one basket. I got a whole bunch of baskets, and it's spread out all over the place. Maybe you would do that too. Don't try to predict the future. Just prepare for it with wealthwatchadvisors.com. Mention Trey Ware when you log on and book your appointment. No sales jobs here. This is just a clear strategy put together for you at wealthwatchadvisors.com. Wealth Watch Advisors is a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
These are today's top headlines.
It'll be Republican Byron Donalds versus Republican turned Democrat David Jolly in November to replace Ron DeSantis as Florida governor. President Trump pauses 50% tariffs on Canada, saying there could be a deal reviving the Keystone XL oil pipeline. Trump will nominate Dr. Heidi Overton to lead the FDA, replacing an FDA chief who resigned over clashes with the White House.
Don't miss a thing. Stay connected for whatever's next.
News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
That thin builder-grade garage door dents if you look at it wrong. Precision Garage Doors of San Antonio installs strong, good-looking new doors that actually last. Big curb appeal upgrade. See it on your home before you buy. Call Precision Garage Door.
In the 80s, fashion was rad and music was cool. But if your AC isn't cool, that's totally bogus. It's Martin Bamba from the KTSA Rockin' Home Show. For AC repair or a full install, call Right Home Services right now and get a complete AC install up to 3 tons for just $89.99. That's a limited time deal with serious savings. Right has the right team, the right price, and the right stuff. Call Right Home Services at 210-444-0000. They bring the cool.
The right stuff.
Have you noticed getting in and out of the shower isn't quite as safe and easy as it used to be? Hi, Trey Ware here. For many San Antonio homeowners, the bathroom is one of the most important places to improve safety and comfort at home. And that's why New Bath Today has joined with Safe Showers and Bathwise to continue serving local families. Whether you're looking for a safer walk-in shower or an easier-to-use bathroom, New Bath Today can help you stay comfortable and confident in your own home. Right now, qualified buyers can get $0 down, 0% interest, and no payments for 24 months. Plus, New Bath Today will provide a free quote that's good for up to 1 year, so you can lock in today's price and decide when the time is right for you. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. Newbathtoday.com. Get this special deal right now, a free quote that's good for up to 1 year. Lock in today's price and do it when the time is right for you. Newbathtoday.com. Hey, it's Trey here from my friends over at Here in Texas. People that really changed my life and added to the quality of my life. You know, I was born with hearing loss. It was an impairment that I had for my entire life, but being in radio and driving race cars, flying airplanes, riding motorcycles, shooting guns, and playing really loud guitars, all those things, that certainly didn't help. So my hearing got worse over time. And I went to see Dr. Sally and the team at Here, H-E-A-R, here in Texas. She tested my hearing, found out exactly what was going on, and then prescribed hearing aids for my particular hearing loss. And I'll tell you, the very first time my wife said hello to me when I was wearing my hearing aids, it was such an emotional event because I could finally hear her. After 43 years of marriage, of listening to her through a glass, all of a sudden, I heard her angelic voice perfectly. Let that be your experience too. If you have an issue with hearing or somebody you love does, please get in touch with my friends at Here, H-E-A-R, here in Texas. They do accept TRICARE and other insurance as well. H-E-A-R, here in TX.com.
At work, in the car, at home. Always one tap, click, or voice command away. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Oh, yeah. Jesus done left Chicago and he's bound for New Orleans. That's where he's going. Frank Beard, yeah. That's my buddy right there, Billy F. Gibbons, singing and playing with Frank Beard behind him. That's what we call mean and dirty Texas blues. We are wearing Rima 953. We bring in Jack Riccardi every day at this time to talk about Jack and what's going on with Jack in 60. Morning, Jack.
Good morning. Could you say the name of that city again, Trey?
New Orleans? Is that the one you're telling
no.
me?
No.
Which one, Chicago?
New Orleans.
Nolans.
It's not Nolans. Did you ever see the SNL skit on that where there's like 3 couples having dinner and one of the couples has just come back from a trip to New Orleans and they've totally like changed. They're like trying to talk a different way and they're dressed a different way and they're like, Nolans got inside of us. Oh, Nolans. And one guy's like, I'm from there, and we don't say it that way.
Right.
That's funny.
Well, sorry about that. I didn't mean to disappoint you so early, Jack. I mean,
I already disappointed myself. You'd have to.
By the way, I didn't get to say this to you yesterday, but I'll just repeat it today. It was great on Monday. It was a great show. Been talking about it all week. Jack and Jesse coming up this Saturday, 6 p.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. Tune in. Check it out. You don't want to miss it.
He's very good. He gives very good, like, specific. You guys know. I mean, you do interviews. You don't know if you're going to get like an hour of mush talk and platitudes and really specific, good answers. And when he didn't know, he didn't know.
Well, what do you think about his vision for the department itself and where we are? And is do you think he's the right guy or what?
He seems remarkably not. He seems to not have an agenda. It sounds like, my thing, and I know you guys talk about this too, is just run stuff, just make stuff work. I don't hear like a big social vision. I don't hear like a ideology. Just very practical. Just make it work.
You know, the whole thing came up about mental health services, and there's a question that came up about mental health services. And I remember when Bill put that in, because I was speaking over at Laurel. You and I used to do spots for Laurel Ridge. And I was speaking over there one time, and there were some police officers there that were wearing like blue jeans. They had their guns on, but more like a golf shirt said SAPD on it. And they were with that unit. When it came in as a mental health distress call, they would go first. And then if they needed the backup with the regular patrol or SWAT or whatever, then they would call those guys in. I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, that is by far the most response we had to any topic that came up in that hour.
Was it?
That.
Wow.
And actually, it's funny how people heard what they wanted to hear, because everybody had like a different spin on what's going to happen and how it's going to work. And I think it's a work in progress. I don't think they figured it out yet. And we were talking yesterday on the show about how isn't everything at this point now mental health or mental health adjacent? I mean, how are you distinguishing? Everybody claims to have something. Half the people in the country believe they have a condition or have been told they do. So isn't everything now that?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the problem with the popularization of mental health stuff, is that everybody does have a diagnosis. So it's kind of hard to tell, who's really there and dealing with it and who isn't.
And I think it's very hard to say, okay, this call that just came in, nothing to do with mental health. We're just sending a cop car. Really? I think they're all going to have some claim, right?
Right. Was there anything he said that surprised you genuinely that you didn't expect, or that?
No, I mean, the questions from the audience were really good and specific. I did ask him, would you go to the White House? He said, sure. I mean, it's the White House. That's what I mean. That's like a very no nonsense answer. Not, well, I can't in good conscience.
I thought he sounded pretty genuine when you asked him about politics, because obviously we have a very political sheriff, and he did the mechanics of it and said, well, I'm an appointed position, but he said, my politics aren't going to come into it in so many words.
That'll be refreshing and good.
Answer.
Yeah.
And again, you can hear the show 6 p.m. on Saturday, 3 p.m. on Sunday. Tune it in and check it out. You do not